right, guys, we are here today. Oh my God, I'm so excited. These panel discussions have been, I don't know, it's rejuvenating my my inner nerdum, having discussions with, multiple people from the industry, new faces, new opinions, not just the same three people, me, Jack, and Austin, just, circle jerking each other and agreeing on everything. It's nice to have a little bit of a difference in opinion, and Lord knows that me and Paul, yeah, Paul, that one, me and him have, polar opposite when it comes to the Snyderverse. With that being said, guys, I would really appreciate it if you liked, smash that like button and share the show on social media so that your friends, family, and even enemies can watch along with you. We accept toxic fandom. We love everybody here. We're inclusive. We enjoy everybody. You can now become a member of the show by clicking join below. If you're on a browser, it typically works best. If you're on an Android, it is also included. For some reason, iPhones don't have the capability, but there is a link in the description so that if you do want to do that, just click the link. It'll bring you into your Safari, and you can do it that way. Other than that, guys, we do this for you. We do it for you, and we do it for the culture. You guys are the main reason that we do all of this, because we like to have conversations with you. So by all means, engage. Send super chats. Send super stickers. Tell me I'm ugly. The rest of the panel, they're all beautiful, but tell me I'm ugly. With that being said, let's start bringing in some of the greatest. I wish I could do a Trump. Donovan, where are you? Come on, man. I can't do it. I'm not going to pretend to. But here we go. I got my best friend. I got my number two. You're muted, Jack. You always mute yourself.
See, the microphone's not working. It's not my fault. Okay. That was the worst impression I've seen. Okay. The worst.
Here's Jack. Here's Jack. All right. So now we're going to bring in Sonny. The first time Sonny has been on. So Sonny, you are from Into the West Comics.
Yes.
You do the show with Donovan. You do it with Paul. And I'm sorry. What's the other guy?
Frankie, Big Frank.
Big Frank. Guys, their show is amazing. Their setup is awesome, and they know what they're talking about. So a little bit later on, we'll be plugging their show, because all of our subscribers should be over there. We very much are working together on this, and
yeah, absolutely.
We want them to succeed, and they want us to succeed. So, we're kind of doing this together where we'll cross promote. We'll do all that. I know Austin is going to be filling in for Donovan the next couple weeks.
Yeah. So he'll be on for 2 shows. We're actually going to be on Thursday, and we have a little special something coming too. So he'll be on. You'll be seeing his face. All
right. Okay, so next from the Into the West Comics is Paul. He is driving right now, but his video will be up soon. But Paul, what's going on, brother?
What's up, guys? I'm really excited to be here, like usual. Can't wait to disagree with Ty for 2 hours again. And I'm sorry you can't see my beautiful face, but you will soon enough.
Yes.
I think you look better this week.
Oh,
it was a joke. He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
He looks like Scott Eastwood.
We got a lot of people in the chat. Dude, what is up with sound alerts? They always want to make, I don't use OBS, guys. I don't. They always hit me with this. It's always the first comment, right? Pop Culture Corner. It seems like, I forget who I was doing this with last night, but they always seem to want to let me know that my sound alert browser is off. Listen, I don't use OBS, but I appreciate the comment. Subscribe to the channel. Black Ops, which is here. Welcome, Caden. TW is going to be here in a few. My beautiful girlfriend, Mad Zeppelin, the gorgeous, the one and only. She is here. Swag and you, Mad. I'm mad. Hi. My cousin Nick. Hola. Hola. Who did we just lose?
Sonny. But I think he's going to come back.
Is Sonny at KFC? Is he using KFC Wi-Fi?
I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll keep going. Oh no, he froze.
We'll be
Guys.
back.
So today's topic is going to be the Suicide Squad. What it means for the timeline of the DCEU, and it could veer off. We could be talking about the Flash and a bunch of other stuff. But I figure I would open up the floor. There he is. I would open up the floor. Guys, what are you thinking? What are you guys thinking about this new Suicide Squad trailer?
Oof. I'm stoked for it. Actually, I think this trailer made me more excited than I actually was for it. Beginning.
Yeah.
LTE is not doing very well right now, so hold on. I'm just going to...
What did he say?
I think he said his connection is not doing too well, so he's gonna jump in. But
He'll probably come back later.
Sonny, what you were saying, you're excited for it, right?
Yeah, so I'm excited for it. I think I wasn't really stoked for this for a while, and this trailer, this past trailer, actually just got me really excited. Peacemaker just seemed like not the coolest character to me, and now with the starfish joke, I'm fully on board.
Like that? You like that?
See, I like the joke. Like, he's almost like a campy Captain America in the first one, where he's like, look, if I had to eat a bunch of dicks if that beach was full of dicks, I would eat it for freedom or liberty. And I was like, that's great. Because, like, that's like John Cena basically is like his character on WWE is kind of like a campy, like, go America. And he always does like the salute and everything. I'm like, he's kind of perfect for that because he does get booed a lot. He's popular, but he gets booed a lot. And you're right. Like, just to let you know, like you tell, he's like looking it up. Starfish is slang for a butthole or whatever.
Did you guys see?
Does this have anything to do with it? No.
Yeah.
Got it.
No, got it. You kind of hear the rubber of his suit, like kind of like. But did you see? So what I was saying was Starro is a character that. So for anyone who doesn't know, Starro was the first Justice League villain. Now, we're never really going to get a Justice League film with Starro as the main villain. I don't think it would work. It would be a little bit too, but this movie is perfect for this character. The little face huggers that were coming out of him. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I mean, this movie just looks really good. And I was a little bit skeptical about, where it was going to take place. So what are you guys thinking about the bullet, the kryptonite bullet?
That was really cool. I like that they did some type of world building inside to where they show that there's a little bit of more of a backstory behind there to kind of explain like the whole Deadshot and why isn't he here? This is a different character. He's in here for going up against Superman. I really like that. I hope they kind of explain or at least show the bullet or show a little something more about it.
Yeah.
But you don't think that messes with the current DC timeline?
No, I personally don't think so.
Because we know our Superman has not been in the ICU due to being shot with a kryptonite bullet.
At least not shown. But we had a discussion about that last night on Enosh's channel and all the fire that came back because of that comment and all that, and how people were like, "Oh, this won't happen to Cavill's Superman. This is not right." But I mean, it did happen. It's Bloodsport did shoot Superman with the kryptonite bullet, but it just wasn't officially shown in the Snyderverse or any of his movies. But then again, it's there's so much that we didn't see. So I mean, it possibly could have happened. We just didn't see it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it happened behind closed doors at some point.
Yeah. I mean, like, in the official timeline, we haven't seen Superman since the Joss Whedon film, right? And so the idea is, because he pops up in Shazam about a year or 2 years later, the idea is he's still out there. They may not show Henry Cavill. He may not be Superman anymore, but he kind of exists.
Yeah, he's still out there
there
doing Superman activities.
So does Ben Affleck's Batman. They may not have movies, but they're still out there,
right?
Kinda.
Right. What's up, Caden?
Can y'all hear me?
Huh?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
But yeah, so I kind of had a little bit of an issue with that line. You can tell it's deliberately placed. Do you think that me and Jack and I were talking about it. Do you think that Bloodsport, his character, was written originally for Deadshot?
Yes.
Like
they're
the similarities.
similar.
The similarities
Mm-hmm.
because maybe they wrote the character as Deadshot. Will Smith had to turn down the role, and they kind of had to,
of time.
Because he's doing other stuff and yada yada yada. But there are
Also out of shape.
There are heavy
Super out of
similarities.
shape.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Look at that picture on Insta.
He's
Like,
definitely not being
geez.
a
Do you guys
super
remember
villain
the
anytime soon.
rumors? Do you guys remember the rumors that Idris Elba was going to be Deadshot, like for a
Yeah.
short
Yes.
period of time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he
Yeah.
was going
Yeah.
to replace
He's in the
Will
running.
Smith.
Do you
And they
think
were
that
probably like-
would have been a better idea?
Probably not, just because you could still bring Will Smith back in the future
Yeah,
if you wanted to do it.
that's why I think they're doing, because they still want Will Smith to play Deadshot, because he played a really good Deadshot.
I
in the
love
first
Deadshot.
Suicide
Really good.
Squad, and I'm really happy that they didn't change up or recast Deadshot, because I would have been disappointed, because I'm like, I really love what he brought to that film and like how he portrayed that character, and I think he plays a perfect Deadshot, and I'm
I
glad that they chose like a similar character to Deadshot to put in this new film, but didn't actually include his character, which I mean, it still leaves the door open. Like, he could possibly join in if this movie's successful. He can do other films and join in with the Suicide Squad later on.
Yeah. Okay. So do you?
Wouldn't it be
you-
cool to see Bloodsport and Deadshot on
Oh,
the
yeah.
same scene together, kind of doing the
Oh,
point
my
like
goodness.
Spider-Man does? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're very
Um,
similar characters, and that's like been a battle that's been going on for a long time, because they're just so similar. They basically are like the same character, but they have slight differences.
Right now,
they have a
do you
different
guys
mask.
think?
Yeah.
Do you guys think that this movie is so? We all felt that the theatrical version of the Suicide Squad, the original, left a very, very sour taste in people's mouths.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Do you think that this one is going to change the IP into something profitable?
I mean, possibility. There's always doors open for that. I mean, going into
They're marketing this as I mean, I was really surprised when they put up their director of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that made a lot of people mad on Twitter for
Yeah,
sure.
because they're really leaning into this, like, hey, look, another Marvel director is coming here to do work, and some people weren't happy with that. I mean, I don't mind. I don't know if you guys do, but I'm really interested to see where this movie goes. I really hope it does not. I hope it doesn't kill the Snyderverse. I
I don't think it'll do that.
Nah.
What do you guys think?
I
I
mean,
don't think it'll kill the Snyderverse at all. I think this is, like you said, it's being marketed as something huge, and I think it's going to be a nice reboot for whatever we saw in the last one. Even like Harley, her costume's different. They took off the rotten tattoo on her face, so it's the show. It's connected, but it's loose. I would say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think being able to put, with the director of, hey, what's up, Miso? It's like having his resume out there. I don't think it bothered me too much, but I definitely saw there were some
Exactly.
discussions on Twitter.
Okay. Okay.
Can't have a Marvel guy directing a DC movie.
Yeah,
Oh.
and
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
God forbid.
God,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
God forbid. But I mean,
And then watch, it's going to be very, very good, and then all that stuff's going to go out of the window.
Yeah.
how much money you think this is gonna pull in?
Not as much as it could, I think.
I think it's gonna do well, but I don't think it's gonna do crazy well, like what they expect it to do. Like because WB always has a stance like, oh, if it doesn't make $1 billion, then we gotta rethink things. But I definitely think it has potential to make a lot of money because basically, as we all heard, WB gave James Gunn kind of the open door to do whatever he wants. So he added all these different characters, which technically a lot of people have been saying they're throwaway characters per se. So I feel like that's going to happen. Like they're going to include all these different characters such as Polka Dot Man and all that stuff, kind of those like side characters.
Jack has a great theory on so do you guys remember the line where Polka Dot Man is he's like, I'm a superhero. Jack, what do you think?
My theory is the very next scene, he's gonna die horribly. Like he'll get blown up. I think you just saw his final moment. Like I'm a superhero. Like he just blows up. Or something like that. Gets hit with an RPG in like a horrible way. Like he gets killed by his own guy.
But you know what I will say about this movie? The cinematography is beautiful.
The CGI also, I think, is really done well. King Shark looks amazing, and I think I love. Isn't it Sylvester Stallone that plays King Shark?
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that because I love him as an actor.
And this movie, it seems a polar opposite of. So it seems like everything that they did wrong with the first one, they're trying to amend and
right
fix.
The wrongs.
Right the wrong. If this movie succeeds, do you see or is there a need to release the Ayer cut?
I mean, I know
it goes against it, like because they'd be like, "Hey, we've already gone a new direction.
There's no need. That probably be like their stance. Like, there's no need. This movie stands on its own. So why do we need to release this? But
I agree.
I mean, a lot of people just want to see the Ayer cut because there's been a lot more stuff that's been coming out, like images from David Ayer. I think that's his full name. I'm not sure.
David Ayer, yeah.
Yeah, and people just want, because there apparently was a lot of Joker stuff that they didn't put into the movie. So people are like, oh, I just want to see it just to see more Joker because even I mean, that's something I can agree on. Like, I wish I could have seen more Joker because then maybe if I saw more and see more what he was trying to go with that character might have made me like Jared Leto's Joker more. But as of right now, I'm just going to wait to see how this movie does and how well they portray all these characters for me to decide, is this really worth it? But I definitely would watch the Ayer cut for sure because I want to see more Joker.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Snyder cut I think might have rehabilitated the Jared Leto Joker in a lot of ways. I mean, it still has his distraction. Everyone's like, "Oh wait, so this is a different Joker." And not only that, David Ayer kept saying that my Joker is going to be a little bit different. Like it wasn't exactly what we saw in that version. So people are now like, okay, I'm kind of curious to see Jared Leto's Joker. What was in the Ayer cut? What would have been the Affleck movie? I think there's a renewed interest that wasn't there in 2016 or 2017 with that performance that people are now like, I want to see more of that. Give us more of that.
Right. And I would love, the tension between Ben Affleck and his Batman and that Joker.
A lot of history, a lot of unseen history.
Yeah, there was a lot of history with that conversation.
Could you now if I'm wrong, and I know Paul's not here to combat me on this, you could cut the tension between those two with a knife.
For sure.
There was so much backstory and so much emotion in what he was saying.
Him killing his Robin.
Fucking kill you.
That's something I want to see, and I wonder if WB greenlit Ben Affleck's Batman movie, if we would kind of see like a little bit of the Joker and then some of that in there, because I mean, Jared Leto's Joker is definitely not on my huge tier list for Jokers, but I mean, regardless, I think because of what the post-credit scene entailed with the tension and the history between those two, it piqued my curiosity. Like, what did he do that really just triggered and set off Ben Affleck's Batman on that bad tangent that we saw in BVS, and it just makes me want to see that Affleck movie much
Killing
more.
Joke.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or the Death of Robin.
Death of Robin.
I think we should
And
definitely.
the burning of the mansion apparently ties into that also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically what the show would be, and this is all theorized, right? This is not confirmed or anything like that, but the show would be 3 separate timelines, and the first timeline would be flashbacks to the Joker and the Death of Robin. The current timeline would be Batman and Deathstroke, and then and then at the end, the 2 timelines would converge, and it would tie together. Now that sounds like a clear moneymaker.
It does.
Oh yeah.
But I just
the weird thing about DC is like they have a clear blueprint of how everything should work and profitable success-wise, and I don't understand why they just don't follow the line. I mean, it's clear as day what would
they
work
don't
and
want
what
the money.
won't.
They don't want that. It baffles my mind when you hear certain about these projects that they cancel, but a lot of the fans are like, why don't they do these things? Because everyone wants to see these things and they'll make a lot of money, but it's not the money that they want though. They're like, well, don't you want the bonus though? Don't you want that bonus? Ben Affleck series would make them a lot of money.
Yes.
I to some degree blame the fans because of the way they reacted in 2016, both to BVS and Suicide Squad. I remember on Twitter was exploding. Like, forget the Rotten Tomatoes
it was
score.
Bad.
People were. I mean, if I was Warner Brothers, I would have been
on
like, "Dude, get me Joss Whedon." Like,
okay, but BVS, I feel was WB's fault because the theatrical cut of BVS was absolutely garbage. It was a really messy plot, and it just did not make sense. Like entirely why they were fighting. But after watching the Ultimate Edition, and adding those 30 minutes back, it makes the movie make much more sense. And it baffles my mind. Like, of all the 30 minutes you cut the plot essential points. Like, especially with the Congress, the lady who goes against, I think it's Congress, I think. Yeah, her. I in like, especially with like her and Len Lex, and then the scene outside of right before they go in, before the whole state building blows up, and like saying like she threatened her whole family and they're scared to death and her mom's actually alive. Like, why didn't they add that? It makes everything much more clear. It's just
they cut out the cutscenes because they didn't think that they mattered, but
they clearly do. But
they clearly mattered in a sense that it made the story more cohesive, and
exactly,
and it allowed us to get from point A to point B seamlessly. Whereas when you take them out,
it made the movie flow a lot better. It makes sense.
That's the word I always use, flow. The flow is so much improved because people always say like I don't know if I want to watch this movie again with 30 minutes. What the hell can 30 minutes do?
They just wanted more runtime.
Yeah. They're thinking like, oh, it's so just the same movie, but longer. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's entirely different movie. It's an entirely different movie because it makes more sense. But hey, guys, we want more runtimes in a day. It'll make us a lot more money. But regardless, let's just take all the stuff that make the movie actually make sense and make the movie actually really good. And I just don't get it because it's funny. I thought it was so funny seeing like all the Infinity War and like Endgame because they're longer movies. But it just made WB look kind of like a joke with that because like we want more runtimes. We don't want these long movies. We have to have a set 2 hour or 2.5 hour deadline.
Especially because The Dark Knight Rises, I think, was pushed. It wasn't 3 hours, but it was almost like 2 hours 40. It was it was up there.
It was pushing it.
It was pushing it. And Lord of the Rings, the third one, I think, was over 3 hours theatrically.
All the movies are long.
Yeah, and so they're and for Batman vs Superman,
that's what we
should have been
here with the Snyder cut. You cut out all this kind of stuff, and then you get the Snyder cut, and you get so much more character development. Cyborg was the MVP.
Oh.
And in the original one, I'm like, he's just kind of a side character. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and they cut out Iris West too. They cut out Iris, which I mean, if you're
a
making
lot of key stuff that would have not stayed, but it would have kept this movie, like you said, it would have made it flow a lot more. I mean, I guess it's hard to say we're gonna get a Batman and Superman or Justice League movie and then try and get kids to sit 4 hours into a movie theater for it.
Well, chances are, like, if they had released it theatrically, it would have still been butchered because they would have made it like 2.5 hours. They would have tried to cut that.
It's just hard to see. Like when you watch the Snyder cut, it's basically like they're not editing it to make like a theatrical cut. This is just basically everything. He's giving you it all, everything that he's filmed, everything that he's done. He just giving it to you all like, you know, well done and stuff. And like thinking about that, if they would have done it theatrically, like if they said, oh, let's edit this and put this in the theaters, I think we would miss a lot of some of these important scenes. I think they would have maybe cut down the Flash saving Iris scene down a lot because that was like a very long sequence. But I really like all the stuff that they don't in that movie because it really focuses on each of the characters and like how they tick. And I think it's perfect.
Yeah, for sure. I
mean, that's what we're going to these movies for, is for the characters. You know what I mean? We want to see all this. I want to see the backstory. I want to see what makes Barry so. Even the scene of him running out of his shoes and then he ends up barefoot. I think that little part was just it's money, you know. And you cut that out for nerds like us. We notice that stuff.
Yeah, and you know, a couple of months ago we had a critic on, and we were talking about sort of movies in the 50s and 60s, like the big budget movies, like a lot of them are religious, like Ben-Hur, 10 Commandments, Lawrence of Arabia. They were like 3.5 hour movies. Yeah. People would go and they would have an intermission. Like that used to happen. And people would take a break, go to the bathroom, refill their drinks. It used to be an event film. I was like, oh, you have to see Lawrence of Arabia.
Yes.
You know, you have to see Ben-Hur. It won 11 Oscars. I would love that. I would love, you'd probably have to do more screens to kind of even out to make the money. So instead of 5 screens, I might have to play at 10 screens. But I would love, take a 15-minute break. You have the intermission. You come back. Movie starts up again.
Refill your drink. Get more.
This is the era of streaming. People sit down and for an entire year, I've been sitting down and watching movies and TV for hours a day. A 4-hour movie is not that big a deal. 10 years ago, people would have been like, no way. But like, if you can watch Cobra Kai in one day, like I did, you can do it.
Dude, I blew through Black Summer season 2 in 2 days. Okay. Like that's, you know, I'm committed to it. And even longer series, I mean, that's only 8 episodes. But I mean, if I click on something and I'm like, okay, this looks interesting. And I look and it's like, oh man, there's 24 episodes and 6 seasons. I'm grabbing me a bowl of cereal and a bag of chips and I'm going to watch the whole thing, you know?
It'll last maybe a week.
If that.
That's pushing it.
And not only that, movie theaters are changing now. You can get actual food at a lot of theaters now instead of popcorn. So if you're in for 4 hours, you want to have like decent food, pizza. I'm not saying it's going to be the best pizza, but I've actually had some of the pizza. Yeah, reclining seats.
Some bars.
My mom brings a
bar
blanket.
at my theater. It's
and
like a lounge experience.
Delivering it to you.
Yeah, this is Las Vegas.
How often would the Snyder Cut be like that?
Get a beer.
Yeah.
We work with actually we're doing it Friday for Fast and the Furious. I don't know how you guys feel about those movies, but they're for sure tentpole films, right? They bring massive crowds. And we're going to be covering that movie straight from the theater. You know, working with the theaters and doing all that stuff's really cool, but like these movies were meant to be seen on screens, right? These movies were not meant to be watched at home. These characters are larger than life. You need to watch
literally
them
dark
on,
side.
on larger than life screens.
and something about this weekend, you know, we talked about this, me and Ty. Fast and Furious 9 is only in theaters. If this movie makes a lot of money, which it probably will because it has a huge fan base, Warner Brothers might be like, oh my God, we should not have done the HBO Max thing. Because chances are, Suicide Squad, a lot of people are just going to end up watching it at home. Which
that's how I'm doing it because it's free. Like, okay, my point is I watched the new Conjuring movie at home. Every single movie that is coming out that they've had and put on HBO Max, I've watched it. Because why should I go and to a theater and watch it when I could literally just sit in my desk, in my chair with my nice ass speakers and watch it from there.
And you can pause it. But here's the question.
Exactly.
If it wasn't on HBO Max, you would go to see the Suicide Squad in theaters, right?
Of course.
So I think Warner Brothers, if they see the numbers that Universal is probably going to do post-pandemic or whatever, they're going to be like, oh, maybe we jumped the gun with this one.
Yeah,
maybe we should have been a little bit more.
regretting that. Yeah. I think.
Because
what
it's really hard. Warner Brothers, and like I saw Mortal Kombat from my house, and I'm like,
Same.
all right, it was whatever. I went and saw it in a movie theater, and it's louder, it's bigger, the action
better
more,
speakers.
You know what I mean? I'm like, this is what I should have did in the beginning. And I think with the pandemic, a lot of people, like you were saying, jumping the gun and kind of putting everything on streaming service. I think this new Suicide Squad is going to do really well because people want to go to the movies. I want to go to the movies. You know, I want.
You want to get out of the
tired
house,
of sitting in and watching it.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, so I think it's going to do more money for that specific fact alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Theo, you had a question?
Yeah. No, my thought was because of that little preview they're doing for Fast 9 in theaters was how much extra money you think Dominion's going to make because of this movie?
No. So what you're saying is how much more money is Fast going to make because of the Dominion, right?
teaser.
Well, I maybe
I think
that's a good question. I mean, I think both questions are valid. Both questions are valid in my opinion.
Okay.
I just
we have seen.
Well, I'm not asking it rhetorically. I'm not asking it rhetorically either. Like, I genuinely would like to wonder how many people are going to see the movie, see the preview, and then it's like, this thing looks really cool. I'll go see this movie too when it comes out.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
They did that with The Dark Knight and I Am Legend. I remember I went to see I Am Legend in IMAX because they showed the prologue of The Dark Knight. Otherwise, I would have gone to my local theater, but like it got people hyped.
Yeah.
I do think that it's not. So as far as is it going to affect Fast 9's box office? No, maybe not drastically. But it's a 5-minute IMAX specific trailer. My theory is that it was filmed. It's not a part of the movie. It's filmed. You know, do you guys remember Battle for Big Rock or whatever it was that Jurassic Park did?
Oh,
I do know what you're talking about. It's like
It was like it wasn't in any of the movies. It was separate. I think it's something like that.
Well, if you look at what it's supposed to be, right? This is the prologue for the movie. It takes place.
I see.
It takes the chunk that apparently is in the theaters for Fast 9 apparently takes place during the age of the dinosaurs. Like you actually I'm not talking like a Planet of the Apes thing. I'm talking 65 plus million years ago.
But will that be in the actual film?
Oh, I think Trevorrow even said it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. So I was thinking that they were going to do something different, but okay. Well, regardless, that's okay. I do think that this is, but so do you guys think it's maybe a little too soon because Dominion comes out a year after that? Do you think it's maybe a little too soon?
Yeah.
I just don't like when they advertise movies like way before because it like feels like I feel like for certain movies it just loses a lot of hype and it's like they'll post something like a year or two before, like saying like, "Oh, we're doing this," and they'll post like a little tease, and then nothing will come out for a little bit until like closer to a release date, and then they'll try to pick up on that hype again.
Yeah,
I think it used to work like decades ago, like when you didn't have so much content.
Yeah.
Like I remember that first Spider-Man teaser in 2001 with the World Trade Center, which they
I was too young.
they eventually banned that one. But the hype, because back then there was no YouTube, there was no way to engage with more content. Everyone was going nuts. It's a year away. Oh, and like it was now because you watch the Dominion footage at the beginning of Fast 9. Well, then there's Suicide Squad, then there's Spider-Man, and there's like 200 things coming out before Dominion.
And you know what the weird thing is? It seems like production companies just kind of fly by the seat of their pants because Spider-Man comes out at the end of the year and we haven't seen a single thing about it. But we see stuff.
Single thing.
We're gonna get the trailer during Black Widow, and they're waiting until Loki's done.
I think something's going to
That's what
happen in
that's what
Loki
I'm
that's
thinking.
going to connect. That's
Yeah,
why
that's
they're
what I
waiting.
think.
That's an
'Cause
interesting
You
idea.
think of WandaVision, and it kind of teases that because apparently WandaVision is supposed to set up Doctor Strange's movie, and I think Loki is supposed to tie into that too, especially with like the whole TVA, which I haven't seen episode 3 yet. I was gonna wait till like an hour or two when I'm
Dude,
done
look at
with
the
my other thing.
timekeepers.
Dude.
Timekeeper background.
No, but I think what Marvel's doing with like they're like kind of finishing up with one thing before they do the other is perfect. I love it. I like how they do WandaVision, and then as soon as it's done, like in a couple weeks, they have Falcon and Winter Soldier coming out, and it's like they constantly are giving you content. You don't have to sit and wait for a while. I wish that's something that DC did. Like they had something always on the fly. You know?
Yeah. That's a problem with DC. We were talking about it the other day. Is so when you look at Marvel and the cinematic universe Marvel has built, right? Generally, we know the direction that they're headed.
Oh yeah,
right?
always.
Can we all agree on that?
Yeah, you always have a sense of direction. You always know where they're going. You know, we have Eternals, we have Spider-Man, we have all these announced projects that are coming out, so we know where they're going.
And we know we know roughly like what's happening, right? Multiverse. We know we're going to be introducing characters, but for DC, do we know anything?
No, we just have what we are seeing that's coming out, and we just have to wait till what's next. And as soon as they announce it, I think it's just really disappointing, and it sets people off.
And we don't know what's connected. We don't know what's not connected.
It's all over the place.
It's all over the place, and it's very discouraging as a fan of both to know that for DC, and say what you want about Zack Snyder, but at least when you went and you saw Man of Steel, BVS, let's just pretend that the theatrical didn't exist and it's the Ultimate Edition, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League. If you sat down and you watched those movies, you knew that there was a clear goal. There was a coherent and cohesive story that was being set up.
And they always pick up. I noticed on all of them because I binged like Man of Steel, BVS all before Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I love how they always
gets confusing.
Yeah, but I'm trying to forget the 2017 one, but I like how they always pick up after the last movie. So Man of Steel, of course, is like the first in the series. Then BVS picks up at the end of Man of Steel, and then the same with Zack Snyder's Justice League. It picks up with the end events of BVS, and I love that because it just continues to show that all these movies are connected. They're all cohesive and tells a singular story, and it just is. I like it.
Well, I think we're saying that because of Marvel, because that's what Marvel did, and of course that's what the first 3 films. I think Warner Brothers said a while ago after Justice League flopped, they were like, you know what, we're just going to focus on single films without like Aquaman isn't really teasing anything in Shazam. Shazam's not teasing something in Birds of Prey. And they're like, we're just going to tell these single stories. Look, from Warner Brothers' perspective, they're like, we don't get your confusion. Zack Snyder's thing is over. Joss Whedon's version is canon. Everything you see after that is a Joss Whedon. The only thing that changes that is Robert Pattinson's Batman, which we know is not part of DCEU. So from Warner Brothers' perspective, especially with that Ann Chernoff article, they're like, I don't get your confusion. That thing was a cul-de-sac, as they called it. Joss Whedon's is canon, and everything is in the Joss Whedon.
I just want to say it's kind of confusing. I know that we're not onto the possible Flash stuff yet, but I think it's really funny how they're talking about like where did this Flash movie take place? Because no one really knows. It's undetermined because they're wondering like where's this going to pick off? And like to me, it seems like, and what I think someone said on another channel, and we're talking about the other night was that it's gonna be like a little collage of both. Like it's gonna blend Justice League and Zack Snyder's movie into both. Because I mean, it's very evident because we've seen the set photos that Iris West is, in the movie, which we obviously know that she wasn't in Justice League. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, but they can always say that she was just in the background.
Which that's kind of funny. And that's why I'm wondering. Like
it's lazy, but like they could just be like, oh yeah, she was there. Remember when I met you that one time?
Very lazy.
And that's what I was also questioning. Like, so how are they gonna introduce and show Iris West? Are they gonna go with what Zach did, or they're just gonna come with some new bullshit? And
I think they're going to be like, they already know each other. And
yeah,
like,
I think that I
going
feel like
there.
that would be a poor way of doing it, because especially if Justice League is canon and that's what they're moving forward with this movie, I feel like it'd be very lazy and very half-assed, because how are we supposed to be like? So in that perspective, like if Justice League is canon and Zack Snyder's Justice League never existed, we don't know who this character is. We don't know that's Iris West. So how you have to introduce a character properly. You can't just be, yeah, they already know.
I think what they'll end up doing is something similar to they did with Terminator. Was it Dark Fate, the newest one, which I actually enjoyed? But they like kind of picked and choose what they wanted to take from the previous movies, and in saying that, like, they're gonna pick and choose what they want to take from Justice League and what they want to take from the Snyder Cut, and they're just gonna go watch both of them and you'll get it.
Yeah, or even like the new Halloween, which ignored the sequels.
That's a good example too.
Well, yeah,
like sequel to the first one, we're gonna ignore Halloween 2 and all that other stuff.
That's what they kind of wanted to do. They're like, yeah, we're just gonna. This is
it's Michael Keaton
after the first one.
Just really quickly,
Bob
Poindexter Lounge. It's okay. We do it every Wednesday, and we would love for you to join the panel anytime you can. You're always more than welcome. We love you here, and we would love to have some of your intake. Just because you can't join this one doesn't mean you can't join the next or the one after that. And then let me know if you're doing a stream anytime in the next couple of days, and I'll jump in there. For anyone who doesn't know, Poindexter Lounge, guys, subscribe to his channel.
Awesome
he
guy.
is amazing.
Very cool. He's
very
very
nice.
insightful. Yeah.
Very, very insightful. Very insightful. And he's a good friend of mine. So, or at least we're becoming good friends, I would say. Poindexter, are we good friends? I don't know. Where do we stand? But all right. So speaking of the Flash, let's transition. All right, so we got the new suit. We got the new suit.
Yeah.
Now what does
Looking
this remind
crispy
you
there.
This reminds me. I didn't want to interrupt anyone, but I'll just say, it's very evident. That symbol right at the heart of the picture. It reminds me of something very similar. Look at the line that goes to the Superman symbol.
Yeah. There's Kryptonian language in it. There is a very, very remarkable similarity between this and the Man of Steel or Superman, our Superman, Henry Cavill. That logo or that crest. Now, what do you guys think the Flash is going to be doing? Because we've seen Michael Keaton on set. He's actually looking pretty good. I don't know if you guys saw.
Yeah, 70 years old, looking young.
Looking good. But a lot of people are worried that this movie is going to erase the Snyder Cut.
Or Ben Affleck's character.
I think it's going to reset the universe, and they're going to do a softer reboot because that's what they want.
Yeah,
Right.
I heard he's going to play like a Nick Fury type role, because he's 70 years old. I don't think he's going to go crazy and start putting on the cowl again and be Batman again, which he might. We just have to wait and see.
I don't know.
They teased the logo.
I think
I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be more of a Batman Beyond Bruce Wayne.
Well, I would actually expect more like a Kingdom Come Batman, where he's in like his suit is like a brace.
He's gonna get the mech suit.
I think that's a very possible thing.
So
his
like
old age,
the Crisis on Infinite Earths Batman that we got in the CW one, where
I did not watch that, so I don't know.
Well, okay.
It was trash.
So Kevin, they had Kevin Conroy portray Batman.
Love his
voice. And he had the mechanical. No, he looked terrible.
Yeah,
he's a good voice actor. He's a good voice actor, but he does not look like Bruce Wayne.
He's not. I'm going to say it. It sounds mean, but like he just didn't look
I'm just glad that
like
they
Kevin
included him,
Conroy
and he
in his
finally
suit.
played a Batman. You know, he's
It
been
looked
playing.
like Kevin Conroy in his suit.
Yeah, I'm just glad. I mean, all I can
I
say
bought
about
it.
that is I'm just glad,
That's
you know, finally he can actually be like a visual, like a live action version of Batman, because he's been voicing him for so long. That's all I can say about that. I mean, I'm not really I didn't like, you know, what they did with his Batman. It was just kind of, I don't think it looked good. I mean, but all right. But I'm just glad he finally,
Did you guys catch
do that.
Did you catch Titan's version of Batman?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Jorah
what?
Mormont.
I never watched Titans.
Stop
Yeah.
calling
Yeah.
him Jorah Mormont.
Game of Thrones.
I don't know what his
Jorah
good name
Mormont.
is. Ian Glenn.
I think
Sonny,
it's the same
Sonny's
thing.
shaking his head. Sonny's shaking his head, but he would do the same
Dude,
thing.
he is
I do
the
the same
worst
thing.
Batman. He's the worst
Sir Jorah.
Batman. Like
I've seen him as Bruce Wayne. I have not seen him as Batman.
I love him. I love it's Ian Glenn, right?
Same.
Yeah.
I think,
Yes.
yeah.
I
sounds
love
familiar, yeah.
him in every sense of the word, but he is not Bruce Wayne.
No.
You know what's funny though? In like the
No,
earlier
dude.
episodes of Titan, they always showed Bruce Wayne from the back, like in flashbacks, and it was clearly not that guy. It was like someone you could tell was like a model with black hair who looks like Bruce Wayne from the back, and then you see like Ian Glenn show up, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's not
Yeah.
him.
I thought he was Alfred the
I'm
first
sorry,
time
Sir
we saw
Jorah,
him.
you're not Batman.
Yeah.
This is why I don't watch those shows, because even when they start off good, they usually don't end very well.
No, and you know
No,
what? That is a
because-
very, very, very good point because
Game of Thrones ended the same way.
yep, DC's Titans,
Sonny, hold on, Sonny's got a disagreement.
DC's
I'm saying
Titans.
Titans is pretty decent. I'm not gonna say
Yes,
it's
it is.
It is
It
decent.
is.
It just
It is.
it's
I
pretty
think-
decent.
I think they
I
could
agree,
have done
it's
a lot
decent.
more with Trigon. I really
Oh yeah.
the Trigon thing lasted 2 episodes. I was so
I
disappointed.
don't. Yeah, that was. I don't. I'm like, how do you just do 2 episodes? Come on.
Trigon is a character that you do not F with. And,
Yeah.
and to give him a
It's-
2-episode treatment was blasphemy. Hopefully he shows up again in the future. I don't know. What I feel the problem with Titans is the seasons are so good, and then they get to the finale, and the finale is so lackluster.
Season 2 finale.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought the other one was good. Doom Patrol. That was one I actually
Doom
really.
Patrol is
I thought
great.
that was way better.
I have not checked
there's
that one
that
out.
we don't talk
Don't
about,
worry
and
about it.
that's Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing.
I heard that was really good.
I
heard
They
that
canceled
was-
it.
I heard that was
Swamp Thing is one
fantastic.
of the best comic book shows that I've ever seen,
But they
and it was
canceled it.
canceled before it
Got
even
canceled,
got.
bro.
That's
Oh my God.
that's WB for you. They canceled.
No.
Yeah.
It's not because there is a very specific reason why they canceled it. It has nothing.
Hey.
It has nothing to. Hi, Enosh. It has nothing to do with quality. The reason that Swamp Thing was canceled was basically the state they were filming it in. They thought they were going to have a bigger tax break than they were, and then what happened was
that
the budget. They recrunched the
Yeah, it was the
numbers
budget,
mid-season
yeah.
and went,
Yeah.
crap, we're not going to have
That
enough
sucks.
money to keep it at the quality that you saw in that season. They were not going to be able to do that for a season 2, and that's why they
Were they
decided
trying to
end it.
film it here in Michigan?
That sucks, dude.
No, they were
I
not
know
filming
they
they were
were
not
but
filming Hellblazer in Michigan.
Listen,
no,
Michigan did the exact same thing. We got one of the Transformers movies. We got Batman v Superman, because they literally filmed Batman v Superman like 30 minutes from my house, like the whole
Awesome.
Bruce Wayne Manor and all that stuff.
Sick.
They built that construction all out at Metamora State Park.
Oh, really?
And-
Awesome.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and then they tore it right down, so you cannot go
super
see
cool.
it. It ain't there no more. They tore it right down.
Oh,
But
geez.
then they filmed like all those scenes of like Bruce running through the streets and everything. That's all Detroit.
Oh.
And so,
okay.
yeah, in fact, I was at church like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and this guy comes up to me because he heard that I was a DC fan, and he comes like this older guy, and he's like, "Hey, man," he's like, "That's so cool that you're into that stuff. I was in Batman v Superman," and I was like,
What?
"What?"
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And yeah, he gives me like this card and stuff. He was like this actor, and like he went down there for like some casting call because they literally had thousands of people lined up like outside two different cities, like just in a line. I mean,
they did something similar here in Las Vegas when the newest Jason Bourne came out, because they filmed a lot of that on the Strip, and they were just taking. It wasn't even actors. They were just taking students from UNLV who like were on campus. They were like, "Hey, do you want to go be an extra in the Jason Bourne movie?" And they were just filling the strip with people randoms.
Okay.
Paul, you're in Vegas?
Correct.
I'm from Vegas.
Nice.
Originally,
me and Sonny are both from Vegas. That's where we shoot our show.
Hey,
yeah.
And Austin is from Vegas. He's not here tonight, but
even a crazier coincidence, I own that exact same shirt that you do.
I almost wore my. I just got a Superman Kingdom Come shirt yesterday.
Oh, that's so dope.
I love that shirt.
Oh my gosh! But yeah,
you have it?
So it's upstairs. It's upstairs. I could grab it. But
it was North Carolina.
Was it North Carolina?
It was North Carolina. Well, it was swamps. Like they needed something like Louisiana, right? So
that's
no, because what happened was they were going to get tax rebates, and then they found out they're not getting as much tax rebates as they thought they were going to get, and so they realized they weren't going to be able to keep the budget. They weren't going to be able to keep the quality.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's what Michigan did. We like hyped up this thing that we were gonna replace the auto industry with the movie industry, and we had like all these places coming in here. We had all these movies come in. We had all this stuff shoot. Like the one Transformers thing, the one like warehouse that they blow up. It was an old like GM plant, and they just totally blew the whole thing to smithereens. And it was awesome. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, we only made like $50 million that first year in tax revenue. So it really wasn't lucrative for us. They literally canceled after 1 year because they only made $50 million. And then they decided we're going to raise all those tax rates. Well, then all the every studio was like,
awful.
Well, thanks then. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
No, but I was just going to say real quick. Do you guys ever go to the Sci-Fi Center in Vegas?
No.
So our good buddy William, who's on the show all the time, like if you watch the lounge, he's got a place right there. It's like Sahara and I want to say it's right by Las Vegas Boulevard. But what's next? There's Las Vegas Boulevard and then
maps it real
down
quick.
by our studio.
Yeah, well, it's right there by the Westgate, where like what used to be the Hilton.
Yeah,
it's on Arville Street.
Yeah, it's like Sahara. Well, yeah, but but I'm trying to look. Hey, TW, we're like locals, man. I know I'm trying to tell them the general area. I'm trying to tell them the general area. But okay, Canada guy, come on, Canada guy.
We're local.
No,
Canada.
That's right. It's right there. It's right there by the Sahara.
What province still has a movie industry?
It's Desert Inn, probably. Desert Inn and
it's like right there by the Sahara Hotel. But he's got a comic book shop called the Sci-Fi Center. You can look it up. They do movie promo stuff there, and he gives stuff away.
We got to go check that out because our studio's is right downtown, and that's Westgate is not far.
Heck yeah! Well, he's right there in the shadow of like the Stupak Tower and like all that. It's like right in that little area right there. And so because we're planning on eventually, maybe hopefully in the next year or so, coming back out there and like because we got a lot of people who are from Vegas and around Vegas, and so given my history there and everything, and all my friends who live out there, we're talking about coming out there and doing like a mini like Poindexter Con.
I'm down
there at
100%
at William's place. So yeah. Plus, if you meet William, if you're into comic books at all, like literally, I'm just glad to have William on my channel, and that he doesn't even have a channel.
Knowledgeable.
Because God, we could just sit there and listen to William talk about comic books for hours and hours.
I hate comic books.
And by the way, Enosh, I've been talking to William, and we're planning a raid on your house.
Whoa!
I think William got Wonder Meg to join in too.
My army of Boba Fett says better.
Yeah, we're gonna steal that personalized one too. We're taking it on. We're like we said last time. We're just gonna leave a note and say, we're just borrowing this. We'll return.
I know Wonder Meg's about 40 minutes away.
So she's gonna get that gene.
Well, Well, her and my wife Tiftastic, they've become really good friends, and they've been hanging out and stuff. And so, like, I keep expecting to come home and find that Gene Hackman figure that she wants gone. So
I'm surprised it's not gone already.
Me too.
Ray was joking about
that was how I met.
That was agreement for it.
That was how I met Wonder Meg. Actually, was because I didn't know that Wonder Meg was from Michigan, and so like one day I had just friended her on Instagram, just followed her on Instagram, and one day I come home and she posts a picture from a comic book shop that I love, that me and my wife frequently go to. That's like an hour away from us, and so I was like, "What the heck? Like, is that really where I think it is?" And so like I messaged her and I said, "Hey, are you at such and such?" She goes like, "Well, yeah. How do you know about that?" And I'm like, because we go there all the time. And so then, Wonder Meg is into, collectibles and stuff, and just like, toys and stuff, just like we are. And so, so it's crazy because we started talking and so I went to this place called, the Mega Mall, and it's like a place that, they sell tons of like vintage stuff and toys. And,
I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. Sorry.
Just like all kinds of craziness. And, anyway, so I went there and they had this Gene Hackman Lex Luthor figure that's about 12 inches. And,
with the wig or without the wig?
It has multiple wigs.
Oh,
it has interchangeable wigs. It has
that's actually pretty cool.
It has the kryptonite necklace. It's got this whole it literally comes with the little plastic map that he puts over the ground to
Otisville.
Yeah, it's got Otis. It's got it marked in there and stuff. It's got the whole thing right from the movie. And so, anyways, we went there one weekend. And I took a picture of it because I had been pushing off getting this thing because the guy wanted like $50 for it, and then it came down, and so I ended up getting it for like 30. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get this."
Bad.
So
that's reasonable.
Yeah, so especially for what this was, and so I posted a picture. I messaged her and I said, "Hey," because we started messaging each other back and forth about like different finds that we got in different places that we found. And so I messaged her and I said, "Hey, look what I picked up today." And she's like, did you get that at the Mega Mall? And I went, "Yeah." And she's like, I know the guy who owns that booth, and I've been looking at that thing for a long time, but I've been waiting for the price to go down, and I saw that the price went down, and I was going to go this weekend and buy it." And I'm like, "Sorry." And so it's become a big joke. It's become a big, huge joke that she's going to come and steal it out of my house one day, because she was here back in October. We rented a movie theater and kind of had a Poindexter con here and watched The Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh, nice.
And people came from all over the country, man. People flew in from Portland, North Carolina, Georgia, Virginia. Nerdy in Many Ways was here. Zeverfet was here. Who else was here? ACS was here. It was just a ton of fun. And so, so Meg came out, and we took a picture like right here with the Gene Hackman figure. So.
I always felt that Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor gets a lot of hate recently, because a lot of people forget the era that came out, and like the evil businessman Lex Luthor hadn't been created yet. And in the 60s, he was kind of like a crazy, wild scientist. But like people look back, "Oh my God, that was the worst Lex Luthor. It's nothing like Lex Luthor." And I enjoy his performance for what it is. Yeah,
it's just kind of silly. It's kind of crazy. My sister lives down in the Florida Keys.
That's all.
Mm-hmm. And she's a bartender down there. And she says to me one day, she goes, "Hey, Enosh," she goes, "I met this guy that he comes in all the time. He's a regular. And I just can't picture who he is. But I know he's an actor, but I don't know what he's from." And she starts explaining this guy to me. And I'm like, "Hold on. Are you talking about Gene Hackman?" She goes, "Yeah, that's his name."
Wow.
I went, "Hold on a second."
No
She
way.
goes, "Yeah." She's like, he comes in at least once or twice a week, and he tips really well and everything. And I'm like, "So you're going to tell me that my sister is like literally having conversations, talking and joking with Gene Hackman every week, and you've never once said, 'Hey, my brother, who is a huge Superman fan,
it's the Floridian connection,
would really love an autograph or something, And she's like, "Well," she's like, "I didn't realize he was in Superman." I'm like,
"Yeah,
I give up.
He's retired now. I think the Royal Tenenbaums might have been his last movie.
Oh,
yeah,
he's been
like
retired a while.
15 years.
Yeah,
I don't know if Royal Tenenbaums was the last one, but it was definitely.
It was like him and Connery kind of retired around the same time in a couple of years, and but they try to do the same thing with the Gene Hackman Luthor and Superman Returns with Kevin Spacey, and less said about that is the big. But Enosh, I want to ask your perspective.
I don't really mind. Okay, everything Kevin Spacey did after the fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. All right.
All that aside.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey looked the role more than I think anybody has really
some
looked.
degree,
Yeah.
And the thing is, I could get a bunch of crap for this. Kevin Spacey plays a fine. He's a terrible person.
Yes.
But he was supposed to be the
guy.
same Lex Luthor. It was supposed to be the Gene Hackman.
And he was. He
did that well. Yeah.
He did a good job. I actually don't mind that version of Lex Luthor. It's different. It fits for the Superman that is in that world. I don't hate that movie either. I don't think it's good.
Yeah,
I
could have bridged
a
the
lot
gap.
of hate.
That Lex Luthor could have actually bridged the gap between that silly, crazy Lex Luthor and the businessman Lex Luthor, because they could have had him go straight, because he became rich by showing that little old lady, Noel Neal, who played Lois Lane, by showing her pleasures she never knew, whatever that means, but you know, like,
the
it could have been
unfortunate
something
part
great
about that movie is that it has its moments, like the airplane scene, and I think Superman is pretty well characterized, but it lacks any, other than the airplane thing, it lacks any real exciting action. And Bryan Singer is a piece of crap, and Kevin Spacey is a piece of crap.
Well, and you can't root for
Where's
Superman.
Batman?
You can't root for Superman in that movie. I've always said that the real hero of that movie is Richard White, because Richard White is supposed to be this archetype of Superman that they put him up against each other, right? So Superman went away, and then here comes Richard White. Richard White starts dating Lois, right?
Yeah.
Richard White, we find out, is literally raising a son that isn't his, right? But he's a good guy. If Richard White had been a jerk, you could have rooted for Superman.
That would have been cliche.
Exactly.
Like, it turns out,
look at this guy. But you can't
it's like
root for him.
Sleepless in Seattle. Like Meg Ryan breaks up with the dude that she's with in that movie, and he's the best guy ever. Yeah. You're like, why are you breaking up with this guy?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, so like you can't root for Superman to get back with his family, right? Whatever. Like, even though the kid is his, even though Jason is his kid, you can't root for that because the kid is 5 years old, and that'd be ripping him away from his dad.
Yeah,
from the only dad that he's ever known. It's not as simple as just like, oh, Superman's your dad now. Superman's your dad now, so you're my son. Like, it's not that simple.
Yeah.
I'd be curious.
And the thing is, like I said, like, even they go out of their way, because like Richard White saves his family. He risks his very life. He doesn't have superpowers. Look, as a parent, and just as a human being, like, being in a relationship, that moment where he's in the ship, and the ship goes down,
plane, whatever,
and the ship is sinking, and the water takes over, and he's sitting there holding Lois, who is knocked out, and then clutching his son in his arms, and he's looking, and it's hopeless. Dude, that is the most claustrophobic, most serious moment I think ever. And and then Superman comes and saves them. But first, what did Richard White do? Richard White went back and saved Superman.
Yeah.
He risked everything, and he's a pilot, so he can fly. Like, there's even the joke. Well, he takes me up all the time. Yeah, but not like this. Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry that we can't all fly. Like, and I love Superman.
I want to fly.
They gave the big moment to the wrong person in that movie. That's for sure.
They really did. And look, they characterized Superman as just kind of flying around, listening in on people's conversations.
Kind of a stalker.
He comes outside the house and he's watching.
He just reacts to everything. Like, he doesn't actually say anything. Like, he just looks at everybody.
Yeah. He's there.
His eyes get really big, like, oh,
And you know what's a shame?
I just saw my kid pitch a piano.
Brandon Routh is very charming in the CW shows. I'm like, oh, he still could be still playing Superman. He's 40 now, but
it's not Brandon. It's not Brandon at all. I've met Brandon. Brandon gets it. Brandon is awesome. He is amazing. It's not Brandon Routh.
Like it was that dude on the planet.
It was that movie, and it was all things. But you know what? I'll say this. Even all that said, that movie still has, for me, what is the best Superman moment. The top two Superman moments ever filmed.
The eye thing?
No, not even that. That's a cool moment. I think that one's
pretty good.
That's a cool moment. So okay, I'll give you three. Okay, but that is a cool moment, right? Of something that happens. But I mean the most Superman-esque things that have happened, right? So the first one is him floating over the city, listening.
Yeah.
And just try to pick everything out, and him just floating there, listening to everything. Yep. And then his eyes open, and he's gone. That, and the most profound thing is when he's floating there with Lois, and he says, "What do you hear?" And she goes, Nothing. And he goes, I hear everything.
Hear everything. Yeah.
He says, you wrote about why the world doesn't need a savior, but I hear them crying. I hear them crying out for one every day.
That is,
I mean, it's moments like that
Great
put that
line.
movie in a weird spot for me.
That right there is worth the 2 hours that you're going to spend watching that movie, no matter what stupid contrived thing that they have with Lex Luthor trying to build a, whatever.
100%,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Those two moments right there, I could watch over and over and over again.
And at that point in time,
go ahead, Paul.
At that point in time, Jonathan Kent as a character didn't really have much as far as development. So I would be curious. I would like to see them remake a movie, a Lois and Clark with Kent, Jonathan movie, because Jonathan Kent, especially in the new run with Philip Kennedy Johnson, and the comic book that Tom Taylor is going to be on, that comes out this week. Actually, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Jonathan Kent is an incredible character. And if you read Deceased with Tom Taylor, who is writing the new Son of Kal-El comic, you know that character is in fantastic hands. And I would love to see a Son of Superman movie where he's working with even like the arc that Kennedy Johnson's doing right now, where he comes back from the future and he's like, I don't want to go into this mission, or I do, but I don't want my dad to come with me because in the future, this is when he disappears. And his dad the whole time is like, doesn't matter. I still got to go do this.
This is when he,
Yep.
That's good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
Still Superman. Still got to do it.
And the fact that like the first guy to really kind of kick things off for that character was Pete Tomasi, because he's one of my favorite writers from that whole period. Because I got to meet him at a con a couple of years ago, and he really made Damian Wayne as a character for me, and what he did for them together, I think, was just so fantastic.
Yeah, that run was up and down. Super Sons is good. The Superman Tomasi run is a little up and down.
Yeah,
but
like,
the art in that is fantastic with Gleason and stuff.
Well, Gleason's just one of my favorites, anyway. So.
Well, you know what I'm excited about is that I got upcoming. I'm going to be able to interview Dan Jurgens.
That's super cool,
dude.
That is
super cool.
It is super cool. Trust me, it is super cool. I couldn't believe, man, when he reached back out and he's like, "Yep, let's do this," and I was like, "Oh, dude, that's everything to me." But I'm sorry.
Good stuff.
No, I would lose my mind too if I was gonna argue, or excuse me, not argue. I like to argue so much. That's what I say. Yeah. No, if I was gonna have an interview. An interview with Dan Jurgens, the guy who wrote Death of Superman and developed and wrote what's it called, Hunter Prey. If I was able to interview that guy, dude, maybe the most prolific, other than John Byrne, Superman writer ever,
dude. So right now we do a giveaway every week. I'm giving this away this week.
That's super cool to have the individual issues. Yeah, I have the. Hold on.
Oh wow, sick.
The original Man of Steel 6-issue miniseries.
Volume 1 here.
Oh, good for those series. I've been looking for something like that for God knows how long, and they're like, those are stupid prices everywhere.
This is
cool. There's like a volume. There's a volume I want on eBay, and it's like from like '98, but it's just the 6 issues of the miniseries, and it's like. I want to.
So we're giving this away. RJ, Resident Justice, that we stream with a lot. I gave him the entire run of Death of Superman, Funeral for a Friend, Return of Superman, Hunter Prey, and then a bunch of other just crazy stuff thrown in, because man, that awesome. John Byrne reinventing Superman is.
Superman comic.
I have a Death of Superman comic that is still in the black wrapping and not open to this day. It's not worth anything because they sold millions of copies.
Oh yeah, I've got a bunch of them too. Check out what I got.
That's the Lois and Clark one. I have that one somewhere too.
This is Adventures where this is where he went to heaven.
Yes.
So, but check this out. This was sent to me by.
Wow,
that's crazy.
My buddy Cylon
Jurgens and Breeding. That's cool.
And Tom Grummett signed it too.
It's got
Walt
certificate
Simonson.
Certificate of authenticity. Cool. Yep, it's Brett Breeding, John Bogdanoff, Grummett, Geis, and Dan Jurgens.
That is so cool.
I think Walt Simonson's.
That's awesome.
Simonson. I don't think Simonson is on here. No, I don't think Simonson's on here.
Any excuse to talk about Walt Simonson is always good.
And it's numbered. Sure. And it's numbered. That's a cool thing too. Yeah, it's numbered. So, yeah. I just got random stuff here. Like, but hold on, you had a question for me. I'm sorry. We got
out.
I had a question.
No,
Or me.
yeah, you had a question for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
this
yeah,
was-
sorry.
this is going back now, but I actually wanted to ask what we were talking about before. Do you think this seems so out of place now? But the Flash movie, do you think this is Warner Media trying to erase the Snyder Cut, or do you think it's like the Snyderverse, so to speak? Do you think this is an attempt to just kind of like, all right, let's erase those first couple of movies? And
I think
move forward brand
I
new?
think erase is the wrong word for it.
They want a fresh start.
I think they want a fresh start, but the thing is, you know what I keep holding on to is this: Ben Affleck didn't have to do this movie.
Yeah.
There is nothing that Ben Affleck had to do this movie for, and Ben Affleck is very much so dedicated to Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Okay, like he came back to reshoot the stuff on Zack's driveway, right, for the nightmare scene. He wanted to be Batman. He wanted to do this whole thing. Ezra Miller, it's kind of a little bit of a different thing because Ezra Miller, like, it doesn't have the sway,
He
right?
still needs a
Star power.
paycheck.
He needs his paycheck, and so he's got to.
And he's his bonus.
So here's
Oh, you're roboting out a little bit there.
Oh, that was Enosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So got this. I am
My
definitely.
name Hayden.
Oh,
Christensen.
you're back.
Really?
You're back.
Am I?
You're back
Okay.
now. You're better now.
Start again,
Sorry.
Enosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my take on this and how I'm going about this. I'm taking a cue from Ray Fisher, because Ray Fisher told me and told everybody at the lounge. He said, "Listen, well, it was I think him and Wayne T. Carr both. They said, are we going to go see it on opening night and make the big deal about it like we would if it was a continuation of what we love? Probably not. But I'm definitely going to go see it that week." He's like, am I going to throw all my money at it because I don't know what this is? Because look, there's always going to be that caveat that all the things that I know that happen behind the scenes with Ray Fisher and all those things are going to put a little bit of a mar on this movie for me, right? But you know what? I'm going to go see it. I'm not going to boycott it. I'm not going to act like it's absolute trash before it comes out, because you know what? I'm sorry. I'm a DC fan. And you're going to tell me that you're going to do a multiverse movie and bring back Michael Keaton as Batman?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You all can go hide in a corner somewhere and protest all you want with picket signs. I'm going to see this movie. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
and there ain't nothing wrong with that. And I am I'm one of the biggest champions of restore the Snyderverse, of loving Zack Snyder and the Snyder Cut and everything else. But you cannot go around demonizing people because they're excited about DC properties. Like and for the love of God, I just want people to stop making up crap about stuff and just hating on everything just because they're afraid that it's somehow going to do something to Snyder stuff. Zack Snyder stuff is tried and true. It's out there. They can't take the Snyder Cut away from us, folks. It's out there. No. It's going to be there.
Can't take it back.
It's going to stand the test of time, no matter what stupid thing Warner Brothers does to mess it up. And look, we're all DC fans and been around for long enough that we know they're going to find a way to try to screw it up, right?
They will. They always do.
But it doesn't matter because what we got is there. Now we can keep fighting for what we want. We can keep fighting for what we want. But I got to go in thinking to myself, Ben Affleck wouldn't sign up for this movie if it was just going to crap all over everything Zack Snyder did.
Jack and I have been saying that for a while now.
I can't buy that.
You won't disrespect him like that
because it doesn't make sense. He doesn't have to do it. It's not like he's hurting that he has to do that movie. So that's what I'm giving that. Yeah. That's what I'm giving that. And I'm literally, because nobody knows, right? I know there's tons of people right now trying to tell you that they know what the movie is from start to finish, like from opening credit to closing credit, and anything and everything in between. And look, there's friends of mine, there's people that I love dearly that I've talked to, have been on streams with a long time, and they're trying to tell everybody that they know. Who knows? They may have gotten all the inside scoop. I don't do scoops. I don't really worry about all that stuff.
People expose themselves all the time for giving reviews to movies before they've seen them. When Black Widow, the early reviews for that came out, they were positive from people that had seen the movies. And there are literally people in the comments of this saying, no, this movie's bad. You haven't seen it. This movie's going to be bad. You haven't seen it. The people that have given the ratings to it,
they hate on it, and we don't know anything about it.
It's like the people who have given ratings to this have seen it, And you cannot tell them that you agree or
it's the same
disagree.
thing. Paul, we did a big stream. Black Ops was there last night. We did this whole stream last night talking about the Suicide Squad trailer, right? I mean, amongst other things. But yesterday I got into a Twitter back and forth. I didn't mean to, but all I did was I pointed out the fact. Yeah, and it was pretty funny too. What happened because these people they want it to be bad because I get where they're coming from. Because it's not Snyder, because we care so much about what Zack Snyder did, and we
can't see something else being successful.
Exactly. Yeah. We just can't see anything else. And the thing, from a Marvel director. Look, there's enough people who yesterday who are my friends. I'll give you an example. Dawson from Nerdy in Many Ways. He put out a video yesterday talking about how like he didn't like some of the humor, he didn't like the butthole joke, and a lot of the dick jokes and stuff like that are in there, and that's fine. That's legitimate criticism to say. I don't care for this tone, right? Yeah, I don't care, right? I don't care, right? I could go both ways. It doesn't really matter to me. But I say this: that's a legitimate criticism. When people are out here tweeting and messaging that this movie is going to be garbage because Superman doesn't get shot with a kryptonite bullet.
Like what?
Yeah, I thought there was a little bit of too much overreaction. That's in the comics.
Oh, dude, there was so much overreaction.
A lot of people.
Do you know how many comics, TV shows, other things? I mean, they're worried about Superman dodging a bullet. How about what we just talked about? Gene Hackman literally put a freaking necklace around the guy of kryptonite, and he didn't see it coming. Like the deal is Superman doesn't worry about bullets. So if you pull out a gun,
I said yesterday. I said someone shoot at him. He's not going to dodge it. He's like,
why aren't people freaking out over the fact that literally Superman just has gotten shot and stabbed like about 6 or 8 times on the Lois or the Superman and Lois show since that's been out.
Yeah,
right?
He's been hit with a bioweapon.
It's worse. Yeah, it's worse because Superman literally just pulls it out and throws it away. Like what the heck? Don't you want to see Superman villains that actually have a chance, like
a formidable enemy?
Give me and that's but people don't know who Bloodsport is. I'm Superman. I am Superman till the day I die. That's where I roll. And I've been telling people for a year since Fandom. There was a bunch of people who were going on about Bloodsport when the trailer came out, and they're like, Bloodsport? Nobody cares about Bloodsport. Yeah, they do. Bloodsport's been around for quite a while. Bloodsport is famous for trying to take out Superman. Exactly, and a kryptonite bullet gets it done. And so this person comes at me and they're like,
an enemy.
This person retweeted that because I posted that comic panel of Superman in the hospital after having the bullet removed, right? And this guy comes at me and he says, and he quote tweets my tweet to everybody. He's like, these people out here trying to act like Superman gets shot with a bullet. It wasn't even a bullet. It was a needle. And I'm
from a wiki page.
Like, wait, what? A needle? Like what? So like, I just tried to talk to the guy. I tried to be nice to the guy, and I was just like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Superman literally got shot with a bullet by Bloodsport. Like didn't you read the panel? I don't need to read the panel. There's the official DC wiki page
says Galileo
says that it was a needle. And I'm like,
it's like the priest not looking down the telescope.
Do you know what a wiki page is? It's edited by fans. No, not this one. This is the official DC. So I literally took a screenshot of the wiki page that he sent me. And up at the top, it literally says, anyone can edit this page. That's what it's there for. And I'm like, somebody obviously put in a typo. It was a bullet. Superman was shot. There's like all these, I can show you the panel. And we did last night. We went through it. But that's things, everybody overreacting because Superman got shot. And then they're like, well, yeah, it's because it's Justice League. And this guy tried to tell me too, that because Zack Snyder did not reference Superman going into the hospital or getting shot by,
but this would have happened after the fact. That's what bugs me.
Just because we didn't see it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
That's the thing. This guy tried to tell me that because Zack Snyder did not reference it in Batman v Superman, that it did not happen. And I'm like, hold up right there. So you're going to tell me that
every movie post Justice League never happened?
Not even that. But think about this: Superman shows up in Man of Steel, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's 18 months that happened between months. So you're going to tell me Superman didn't fight any villains? Nobody tried to do anything in that 18 months? That's dumb.
You
That's
said
dumb
Bathtubs
right there.
with Lois.
And,
He didn't
and
do a
you
single
and
thing.
you're gonna tell me only Zack Snyder can tell us what happened within those 18 months in the entire DC universe of Batman finding out about who he was, all the reasons. Like, you're gonna tell me the Superman didn't take on anybody to get known as Superman in those 18 months?
Yeah.
Superman didn't just show up and then fight Batman the next day.
Yeah.
Like
No.
seriously. So you're gonna tell me.
How
So I
else do you
said
think
so.
Batman
so
hates Superman.
So if somebody
You gotta
does
do something.
if somebody does a movie that takes place between Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, or references that Superman like had a weird lunch one day and took a crap, and but you're going to tell me that because I don't know, Zack Snyder didn't say that he didn't wipe, right? Because
guys.
it was his universe, his creation. I don't even care about the Justice League Superman crap, where it jumps off or whatever. Superman could very well have fought Bloodsport in between Man of Steel and Batman v Superman.
So,
or even after Justice League, either version.
Either one. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Either version, it could have happened afterwards.
But they're not worried about the fact that at the beginning of Justice League, he's missing his lip and he's got a totally different suit on than he died in.
He's missing his
He died in that suit for BVS, and in Justice League, he has a completely different suit. So when did he do all that? When did he save people from a fire and talk about hippos and lost car keys in that suit when he died and he was dead? Like, it's like, stop whining. It's comic book movies.
Well, I'm just assuming that happened before BVS. I mean, like, even as we speak right now, the theory is that the Henry Cavill Superman is still out there, whether you follow
James
Justice
Gunn
League or James Gunn apparently said he doesn't know which Superman it is.
Well, no. I think he
What
said
did
in
he
a
say?
tweet that he was the one that got shot by Bloodsport. Cavill's the one who got shot by Bloodsport. It's so it's basically inferring that this movie kind of takes place in the Snyderverse, but we just don't know when it takes place inside of that.
Yeah. Because remember, the events of Justice League, both the Snyder Cut and the Joss Whedon version, happened about 4 or 5 years ago, at least within the canon. So he's still
he's still flying around.
He's still flying around. Let's say the nightmare hasn't happened yet. He's still saving people. He's not going to like pack it in like
no. Like
exactly.
I'm saying, he's not just singing bathtubs with Lois.
Look, I want to go there something that Enosh was talking about with people who are like talking about boycotting the Suicide Squad. And I've talked about this before. Both the things I'm going to say. I'm not a fan of the Snyderverse. It is not my cup of tea. But I would never go and boycott it and say, "Don't go see these movies." I'm not going to go see these movies because here is why. I have nothing against Zack Snyder. I like a lot of Zack Snyder's movies. In fact, I like the majority of them. Mm-hmm. But if you don't like a producer, you don't like a director. And if anyone was on here last week with me, you heard me say this, and you go and boycott that movie, you know who's not going to have a job for the next movie? Not the director.
Everyone below the line.
Everyone below them. The guy who works the front desk at the WB office, he's going to lose his job. The guy who makes $14 an hour, who needs it for his family, he's going to lose his job. So you boycotting the Suicide Squad doesn't hurt James Gunn, doesn't hurt WB, any of the heads that you want to hurt. Which why would you want to hurt somebody in like monetarily, whatever? Just because they're not doing a series that you like, that's messed up. Yeah. But those aren't even the people that are going to get the backlash from it. It's you and me that are going to get backlash for. So you boycotting movies is a selfish and ridiculous thing to do.
But be grateful that we live in a world where we can have fun, argue, talk about comic book stuff like that, and then leave that at the door. Remember that it is just that. It's a comic book world. It's listen. I had a guy on that I've gotten to know over the last couple of weeks who's been on my channel who also does not like
Joe.
The Snyder Cut, right? He doesn't like the Snyder Cut.
I actually don't mind the Snyder Cut. I'm
just saying, like he doesn't like the Snyder Cut. And that's his opinion. But the thing is like since I've met him, he's been nothing but nice to me. He's not rude. He's not like any of that stuff.
Funny guy.
And so I've been kind of telling this story, and so I kind of want to tell the other side of the story because somebody messaged me in one of my videos because I messaged that I was going on this guy's channel to do an hour with this guy. He asked me to come on and just do a fun thing, and I said okay. And then somebody asked me, said, "Why are you going on that channel? He doesn't like the Snyder Cut. He doesn't like." And I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like he's been nothing but nice to me. Yeah. He's pleasant. People don't have to like everything that I like.
We had an issue like that with some of our viewers because we have one of our members was Justice. He really didn't like any of the Snyderverse, like he, at all. Very critical. And then people were like, "Oh, why is he on?" I'm like, "That's because that's how you have discussions. You have people who disagree
it's like-
with you."
It'd be boring if we all
Yeah.
sat around here just
Yeah.
saying the same thing.
The hive mind.
Exactly.
We don't want a hive mind. We want differing
Yeah,
opinions
exactly.
with different points and different takes. But I just want to say quick,
I,
Paul.
I did want to tell the other side of that real quick because I haven't told us yet. Black Hop, Jared, that guy reached out to me and he apologized because he heard me talking about it.
Did?
Yeah, he's heard me talking about it now a couple of times. So I keep saying like this is dumb, like because we had the guy on the channel and stuff, and like I'm just like, look, we're gonna have conversations like this. This is get used to this because this is what we do, right?
Yeah.
You know, but you know that guy did reach back out to me. Yeah, he
Yeah.
reached back out to me. He goes, you know what, Enosh, you're absolutely right. He says, you know, I was having a kind of a crazy day that day. He's like, and it just kind of hit me weird or whatever. He says, but you're absolutely right. You know, and look, as long as we all come in with a good attitude and we're just remember what these things are. Like, yes, there's bad stuff that happens, right? There's bad stuff that happens behind the scenes. And if we know that kind of stuff, then yeah, sometimes the real world clashes with the fake world, right? Mm-hmm. But even so, like, when somebody like a Ray Fisher and others even tell you, yeah, I still want to see the Flash movie, and that's somebody that it directly affected,
Yep.
then why are you going out here spreading all this hate and anxiety and trying to make people worried that it's going to be trash and saying stuff like, well, you know, Supergirl's not blonde hair and blue eyed. No, but she looks exactly like a comic book version in the multiverse of Supergirl. Yeah. So what are you complaining about? We're literally getting cool stuff. The only concern that I have for the Flash movie, and I'll sit back and shut up. The only concern that I have for the Flash movie is that by the time this movie comes out, Marvel's multiverse will have been in full swing by now, and it's going to be the same exactly. It doesn't matter that DC does stuff first or that DC has a better concept. DC will come in and it'll be after the fact now, which is crazy because again, if they had just let Zach finish off his things, it would have been all done. Yeah. They would have been able to actually get a leg up on this stuff, but they beat
it to the punch.
But unfortunately, we just can't catch a break sometimes as DC fans. So we have that to look forward to. That it doesn't matter how good the Flash movie is, we're going to hear nothing but, oh, well, Marvel did it better just because Marvel did it. It doesn't even necessarily mean that it's going to be better. It's just that if they just do it first.
They simply just did it.
I think a lot of the big problem is, and I've always kind of said this about fandoms especially, is that they attach themselves too much to their belief, whether it's for Snyder or against Snyder. And when they hear a differing opinion, they see it as an attack on them. You know, like
it's all personal.
Yeah, well, like, you don't like Zack Snyder, you don't like me.
Yeah.
Well, no.
That's what I was going to say. So me and Ty, we joke that we argue and stuff about it, but me and Ty have never been nothing but cordial with each other in our disagreements.
You should see what he says about you behind the scenes.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no.
I'm joking.
Pop culture corner exposed.
But my point being that me and Ty,
I agree.
We dislike and like different things, and we have fun, good conversations about it.
Yeah, and speaking of which, I really do like what you say. When there's difference of opinion, when there's difference of, I like this, you like that, this person likes this, it creates fun, healthy conversation. And that's what this is all about.
That's what you hope to have.
Yeah, Poindexter Lounge, a great example. What he does on his channel is he brings people together and they have conversations. Not everyone agrees, not everyone does, but it creates engaging and fun conversations. And that's what we're looking to do with this show in particular on Wednesday, is bring a group of people who normally would not be in the same space talking about the things that we love. And I like that Paul and I don't agree on everything. I like that Poindexter Lounge or Enosh and I don't agree on every single thing. I like that we all don't agree because it makes for more fun conversation.
Different takes and
conversations. And I think, unfortunately, the internet is a great place for this, and it's also the worst place for this. Who's this?
Should
I don't know.
Should I go get my Captain America mask?
Yeah, go get your Captain America mask.
I had a couple minutes. I was like, this will be fun.
Yeah. But
Go on,
so
dude. Keep going, boys. Don't mind me.
yeah. So, do
Is that Ryan Reynolds?
Do you guys think that
Did Ryan Reynolds become a black man? I'm confused.
See,
Oh,
I'm
boy.
colorblind.
Hey, it's 2021, man. Anything can happen.
Scarlett
Anything
Johansson,
can happen.
that's who it is.
It's true.
Got
I'm
recasted.
tripping out right now.
do you guys think that that Michael Keaton is going to be brought in and they're going to eventually do a Batman Beyond storyline?
I hope so.
Whether
It's a
it be
possibility.
a Batgirl Beyond or a Bat. I'm not too keen on I'm not too Keaton on that. But I really would.
I see what you did there.
I just
Well, I
gotta
think
say this
that's
real
it for
quick.
me.
Paul, you talking about boycotting? I was a little boy when Batman Forever came out. Little boy, like maybe 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is Michael Keaton in this one? And my dad's like, no, it's Iceman from Top Gun. I'm like, I don't want to see it. Like, I was like, I'm not going to see it if it's not Michael Keaton.
Well,
and I remember arguing in second grade. I was like, do you see Batman Forever? I'm like, it's not the same guy. And I was like, I was alone, but I am, as you said, we're in a world where I get to see him come back. Even if the movie ends up being horrible, I'll be like, hey, he's back. I won. The little kid in me's like, yeah.
I just wanted to make it.
We used to listen to Danny Elfman's score on his Walkman.
Yeah.
You know?
And so there's a difference. Just the last thing I want to say on this: there's a difference between boycotting and just not seeing something because you don't think you're going to like it.
I mean,
if you don't want to see it, no, I know, but I felt like it brings up a good point. No one's here is telling you to go see every movie because people might lose their jobs. No, if you don't want to see a movie, that's okay. Boycotting is actively getting other people to try not to see it. For
a lot of times by lying.
Yes,
a lot of times lying. There's a lot of
problem.
these fake scoopers. Like there's this rumor about the Robert Pattinson movie, which I'm not going to say because,
God.
but like they're spreading that guy Overlord. He's like, oh, this is what's actually happening.
I'm telling you.
Oh, there
he is.
I know exactly what's happening. I've been trying to tell you all we're fighting for pop culture. It's all going to be woke.
Kathleen Kennedy's
Kathleen Kennedy is going to be fired for the 500th night. He is an imposter. He's an imposter. I am
he's
the
here.
real guy.
No.
I've never actually seen what this dude looks like.
Listen,
I've only ever
This is
heard about
wrong.
him.
This is false. I'm the real
I'm gonna say something that I really I don't like to do. Doomcock is an
Now we're
absolute
demonetized.
what?
You said cock. That's
Oh,
It's Croc. It's
Say it
Croc.
again.
It's Doom Croc.
Doomcock is an absolute crook.
Oh, yes.
He is a crook, and come at me, bro. Come at me. We're a smaller channel.
I got
we
your
are
back.
a smaller channel.
I
But
came out of the rise of
I have-
Skywalker.
I have all these guys on my on my backside, right? Ready to
100%.
come into the fight with me. You are a crook,
100%.
and you lead people on, and you deceive people, and you are the
Rumor zone.
You give streamers bad reps.
He hurts the fandom. That's all he does. He
But
just
he's
hurts
popular.
the fandom.
That's the thing. Going back
That's
to what
the
you're saying,
sad
Paul.
thing.
Because chaos spreads.
Yeah, people
just
like
spreads
the
anger.
rumors, like the people who hate the new Star Wars. I'm not a big fan of the new Star Wars, but
Geeks
like
and
he's been
gamers.
saying for years, this happened and this is what's happening behind the
He's
scene.
been
And
saying for years the two things he always says that one of
Kathleen
them
Kennedy's out.
Well, yeah, one of them is eventually going to be true because simply people leave jobs like that, and then he's going to say he called it, which no, you didn't. Her contract ran out, and she didn't want to re up on it.
Yeah.
And then
Watch
the
my
other
thing,
thing
guys.
he's talking about, there's a what is it? There's a Abrams cut to the Rise.
Yeah,
of
Oh,
Skywalker.
there's a
Christensen
4
was in
hour.
Enosh,
There's
that
a
simply
4 hour.
doesn't exist. It's like, what are you talking
Yeah,
There's a
about?
4
Yeah,
hour.
get out of here.
denier.
He
Enosh-
says that
Enosh
there's
is
a
a,
4 hour
come on.
George Lucas cut.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
of the
George
film.
Lucas
Oh,
came
that's
and
what it
filmed
is.
stuff.
George
Yeah,
Lucas.
Look,
cut.
like,
it's
That's what it
ridiculous,
is.
man.
So I will just tell you all this. If you ever want to have some fun, come over to the Poindexter Lounge at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday nights. We've been doing a show for the last few months called Our 2 Cents on Nonsense. And so we look at a couple of things. We look at Doomcock videos, and it doesn't have to just be these guys, but you know what? It's just just so pleasant to it be these two guys. Like I always
they just always keep posting stuff.
I always say that I'm open to like other people and stuff, but like they say the most ridiculous things that it makes it so much fun. And so we pick a video either by Doomcock or by Mike Zero. And
who
we just,
is Mike Zero?
You've never watched Mike
It's
Zero?
TW.
No.
Oh my
What?
yeah. The first time I met TW and he came on my channel, oh my gosh, what the heck happened? there?
What?
Wait, why is there two TWs?
Oh, is this actually the wait? Do we have Theo and then Mike Zero, but he's posing as Theo?
No, Mike Zero.
No.
Mike Zero is a guy. Mike Zero is a guy. TW actually kind of sounds a little bit like him. Sometimes he does a really good impersonation. The first time TW was ever on my channel, he did. He came in during a call.
I'm saying like can you guys hear me?
No,
Yeah.
I think maybe yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. We're all cleared up. No, because I was closing. I switched browsers, so I was closing Firefox. I'm in brave now. So.
That's what happened.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
no,
I
so
don't
the
know
first
what that
time,
was, but that
the first
already
time,
seems fun.
yeah, the first time
Mine's
TW.
backing up too.
Well, the first time TW ever came onto my stream, he came in on a call-in show, and because he doesn't show his face, everybody thought that he was Mike Zero, and that's funny because he sounds a little bit like. But Mike Zero was a guy. Mike Zero was a guy that right before the Force Awakens, right before the Force Awakens, Mike Zero started doing Star Wars videos. He was just an awkward guy who just randomly talked about movies, right? Well, he started talking about Star Wars stuff, and The Force Awakens came out, and like he had just been a hype machine for The Force Awakens, so it was fine, right? It was like any other channel just hyping it up. Well, between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, he tapped into something else. He started doing this before Doomcock did it, where he talks about that he knows all this stuff and that it's been noted that this has been said of that. He references fake interviews that never happened. He never sources anything, doesn't talk about anything. And the thing is that he propped up The Last Jedi that all these things were going to happen, that all this amazing stuff was going to happen, and none of it happened. Okay, I mean, absolutely none. But somehow the guy literally keeps going. Like, he doesn't do interviews. He doesn't talk anywhere outside of his channel. He doesn't do live streams. He makes there was a time where he was making, right before the Rise of Skywalker, he was making 10 to 12 videos per day.
Wow.
Per day.
That's crazy.
Go watch Mike Zero's videos. Like the height of it is right before the Rise of Skywalker.
With an ad blocker.
You will hear the most amazing stories you have ever heard about about Star Wars that you won't even believe.
I wish I was that crazy.
There's a third actor. There's a third actor in this. Have you guys seen Midnight's Edge?
We've talked about Midnight's Edge too, but Midnight's Edge,
and I watch them sometimes.
The difference is Midnight's Edge, when they usually do something, they reference Doomcock. They rarely come out with something on their own. They just kind of spread the rumors. But Mike Zero, I took such a shine to Mike Zero. I created a character on my channel called Mark Uno. and I took his background because he has the same background stuff. He changed it up. I literally think he changed it up because of me.
That would surprise me.
Because for years he had a dartboard and he had his Mike Zero emblem on a poster over here. And I took his background. I started dressing like him. He always had a brown baseball cap turned backwards and he had a jacket on, and I would talk like him. I do his mannerisms. He does all these weird mannerisms and stuff. And I would start making videos just about crazy Star Wars stuff. So much so I even wrote a song, like a pretty good one called Lies, and shot a music video for it. And like we were coming at him pretty hard right before the Rise of Skywalker. Well, I still do these Mark Uno videos, but then we started doing 2 cents on nonsense. And so we just go through and we just kind of look, it's not to go after another fellow YouTuber, but what it is to show that there are people, both of these guys have over 200,000 subscribers. Almost 250,000 subscribers, both of them. And
I think part of it also is that people want to believe.
They want to believe so bad, but you know what it is?
If you hate Robert Pattinson, or if you hate
exactly,
Kathleen
but it's like
Kennedy,
when you used to go to the grocery store when you were a kid, and you'd see the tabloid magazines. They talk about they found Bigfoot and the Loch Ness monster and Bad Boy and stuff like that,
or even politics.
Exactly.
It's the same thing. You go to the point of view you like.
It doesn't have to be true. It doesn't have to be true. What it has to be is that it taps into something that people want it to be true.
Yeah.
And like I listen to some of Doomcock stuff and I listen to some of Mike Zero stuff and I go, man, I wish that were true, but it ain't gonna happen, right? And so the thing, you know, when they start all this stuff about, you know, before the Last Jedi, when they were like, Snoke is gonna be Darth Plagueis. Yes. That didn't happen, right? And so the thing is you have to take things as I'm being told the story, I'm going to take it in that way, and I'm going to process it that way. But making up fake stuff, what it does is it hurts the fandom because it literally puts people in this.
He does say take this with a grain of salt, but then
that's no excuse.
Zone, guys.
No excuse.
I'm going to back you up. The way he presents it is like he presents it as fact.
Yeah,
that's,
well, and
the
thing
is,
like,
hey, I'm washing my hands.
Well, doesn't that Doomcock guy always say, per my sources, you don't have any sources?
Yeah.
No,
you're lying.
You guys got to come over. The chat on 2 Cents on Nonsense.
It's hilarious.
The chat on 2 Cents on Nonsense is amazing. It's so much fun. People literally send us they make up fake stuff like
Croc
people.
Plus.
Oh yeah, we have a whole
Amazing.
community based on this show where people send us like Photoshop things of like where this stuff is actually going to happen because we know we're not going to see it on Disney Plus or stuff. So people keep calling him a bowl of crock. They kept calling him a bowl of crock when we first started doing the show, and so now we have our own streaming service called Croc Plus that like people will send like manipulated stuff that shows like the new show that's coming, whatever. The new show that's coming or whatever, you know, on Croc Plus and the new movies that are coming and stuff. And then there's like, we have like Doom Enema, like commercials for Doom Enema. Like when you really need to flush out the nonsense, Doom Enema, you know, or like Doom Agra when you need your anger to stay rock hard. Like I was saying
whenever you have to watch this content, you have to take Doomprofen.
Doomprofen. I like that one. But yeah, you guys, it's so much fun, and we just have a blast with that.
Can you guys hear me? Or like I'm not sure if my mic.
We can hear you.
Oh, can I finally say hi? I've been here for like 10 minutes. Couldn't even say anything. Hello to everybody.
You kind of blend in with the background, Saggy.
I do. I did it on purpose. I wanted to feel seen, but not completely seen. So I wanted to blend in. Just
did a terrible job.
She still owes me bubble.
You still haven't hooked up.
I'm still
what is that? Come on.
Saggy, I'm disappointed. You are all talk, girl. You are all talk, girl.
You
come on my channel, literally flirting with everybody. Then you you pause. You pause. You came on. You went on the Nerd Queens yesterday with my wife and tried to throw me under the bus. Like I make up the fact that you flirt with every new guy that comes on my show. That is utter BS, and you know it. You flirted with Ray Porter. Darkseid himself was in my channel.
She flirted with Darkseid.
Tyler comes on my channel. The first thing you do is go after him.
She did the same thing for me.
When Jared showed up the first time, you're like,
on the Colin show,
Listen,
exactly.
No,
you are all like fresh meat.
I have a harem.
Then you try to throw me under the bus and act like I put that on you and try to make it look like you rewatched that stream.
No, you rewatched that stream.
You rewatched that stream.
You rewatched that stream.
Jerry. You go take this guy for bubble tea. You go take this guy for bubble tea.
He's been busy.
I want to see you put up or shut up, Saggy.
Saggy, put your money where your mouth is.
Tyler, hold on. Have I not been trying, but you've been busy, right?
I was just reminded.
Shut your face, Enosh. You don't know nothing.
Kiss.
No.
His girlfriend might not like that.
Yeah.
I was just reminded
She's
of
in the comments.
I was reminded of the New Year's Eve special.
We got a girlfriend?
Yeah. So we just made it official, yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
Okay, Saggy, then you need to back off.
Yeah, Saggy, you need to.
She's out of it now. She's
get out of the stream.
Yeah, there she is.
Wayne T. Carr, who is married.
Now me and Tyler have a new girlfriend. Hello, girlfriend. How are you?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the relationship, girl.
I know. I swear to God. Wayne T. Carr. Wayne T. Carr is on the channel, and like Saggy's over there, like, ooh, hey, Wayne, how you doing?
Yeah,
You
she
looking
forces
good.
everybody.
And then he's like, yeah, I got a kid coming, and she's like, oh
She's
well.
in the comments. I don't want to be a part of this.
Is Ray Fisher single? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, well, Ray.
Yes.
We have
no.
both.
It's so
No.
funny though. It's so funny though
to
because you
God.
just see their faces. They just laugh.
Yeah, no,
Remember the
no.
New Year's Eve stream? Remember the New Year's Eve stream, Enosh, where I did?
Oh man.
No, on the New Year's Eve stream to help ring in the new year. I think it was to ring in 2021. At the end of the stream, for fun, what I did was, with regards to the Mike Zero impression, I read Norman Bates's final monologue in Psycho in Mike Zero's voice.
Oh my God.
That's
Totally
great.
right. Yeah, if you don't know who Mike Zero is, you got to go check out Mike Zero.
It's
absolute nonsense. It's worse than Doomcock. It's worse than Doomcock because Doomcock. Look, Doomcock has no excuse because all that stuff is taken with a grain of salt. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to make it because you guys know that he literally got caught stealing stuff from 4chan, right?
More than
really?
Oh yeah.
Would not be surprised.
So this was a big deal. Like last year.
I'm going to put the channel's name in the private chats.
Okay.
But
last year. Yeah, last year sometime. These people. It was a Star Trek reference because he's big on Star Trek too. Some people got together. They created a bunch of rumors and they put them out on 4chan specifically for Doomcock.
Yeah,
because they were pretty sure.
Yeah, Doomcock says a lot of stuff about the new Star Trek that just isn't.
Well,
true.
and that was the thing. They were pretty sure that he was combing like Reddit and 4chan and stuff like that for these things, and then reporting them as his sources, right? So they put out a bunch of lies that they knew were lies, specific things on 4chan. He took those things, reported them as his own, reported them as things that he was hearing from his sources, and they called him on it. And the thing is that he got nailed with that. And I don't know how he survived that other than he just deflected and was just like, well, sometimes I get sources from different places. No, you're full of crap and you make stuff up.
Well, it goes back to what I was saying. Like, if you want to believe it, then you'll also create, it's sort of like flat earthers. Every time you try to explain something, you're like, well, actually, the magnetic field, they're going to go in circles to defend Doomcock. And he kind of has an army of people who will always defend him because they want to believe what he says.
Exactly.
By the way,
but Mike Zero is worse though because Mike Zero, it says that this stuff is absolutely fact. Like
I'm terrible. I am absolutely awful.
It's not up for. It's not take it with a grain of salt. This is happening before the Rise of Skywalker. Before the Rise of Skywalker, he did a video. Mind you, it was hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up with Mike Zero because he does like 6 to 12 videos a day, literally, like every day. The guy has nothing else going on. That's all he does. And so the thing is that he did a video talking about how all of our heroes were going to come to the planet of Pisana, where they come, in the movie. But all that was already out there. But he said in one video that they're going to come to this town and there's going to be this 50-foot statue of Anakin Skywalker where Anakin had supposedly traveled there and done something or whatever. And that they're going to be like worshipers of Anakin Skywalker. And he gives this whole detailed thing, right? I kid you not. 1 week later, same exact premise, same exact setup, same exact everything. But he says this, and our heroes will come upon a 50-foot statue of Ezra Bridger. Just switched out the names and just to put out content. It's oh my gosh, it'll literally like blow your mind. That's why I did all the stuff I did. My music video is pretty funny about it though, but you got to watch a couple of his videos. Like for the longest time, he only had like one light out at the side that lit up half of his face. So it's like the guy had like 225,000 subscribers. He's making bank, and yet he couldn't get a proper lighting system for his. And we were calling him out on it because I would light up half my face just like him in my videos and stuff. And so the thing is, he changed it where like he changed his background where then he had two lights, like a red light and a blue light in the back. So I put a red light and a blue light in the back and I made it look just like his set.
And then all the 2 cent stuff where you like tell him to do stuff.
Oh, that's the crazy thing is because we on our show, me and Johnny, we started telling him to do stuff because we were like because he kept using the words my 2 cents and nonsense like in his like thing, almost like he was like baiting us like, oh hey guys, yeah, I see what you're doing, because he won't answer you. He's on Twitter, but he won't answer you. He won't ever mention anything. And so the funny thing was we started asking him to do stuff like, hey, if you're watching, can you like pull your ear or like tug your ear like Carol Burnett style or whatever? And I kid you not, the next week he's all like, so guys, and he's like going over his earlobe and doing all this stuff. And it was like, what the heck are we watching, man? It's funny.
The funniest thing was you were on Nicotina's show watching that, because I was watching that stream and watching you clue in where you're like, what's he doing with his ear? Wait a second, John, and like it clicked, and it was so amazing.
It's funny stuff.
By the way, real quick side note, not to really derail too much, but like when you said he had a girlfriend, tell me why I thought that face in the corner was her just creeping, and my heart sunk in my chest. I was like, oh no, she's watching. When y'all like she's watching the face in the corner by Tyler right there. You see it?
Yeah.
I thought that was I thought
oh, Jesus!
I thought it was a
That's
girl.
actually kind of creepy. That's
Right?
creepy.
I was like,
oh my God.
I just realized that. Yeah, that's creepy.
looking in the corner, I thought that was his girlfriend just creeping. Like, you know, he's got a
That's
girlfriend, right?
great.
And she's just like, I was like, uh-oh.
She's coming to get you, Saggy. She's coming to get you.
Oh no, I was scared, man. My heart stuck in my chest for real. But yeah.
But to kind of bring the conversation not back, because this has been so fun. Guys, what are the chances that the Snyder Cut is restored in some form or fashion? The Snyderverse, sorry. So whether it be on HBO Max, basically what we've been like relating it to is kind of like Loki, right? So we have the sacred timeline, right? Maybe that's the theatrical. That's the theatrical stuff. Joss Whedon, that trash is canon, and then the characters kind of like go throughout that. But then there's this branch where, you know, at Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League diverts and goes to HBO Max, and then his stories are kind of like multiverse or black label stories that happen purely on HBO Max.
And why can't it be like that? You know, it's a multiverse. It can happen. Justice League can happen. This can happen too.
I think
everything.
I think only time will tell. I think it's entirely dependent upon how these upcoming movies do,
and the merger.
And yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And who is in charge at WB and what they want to do and where they want to take it. Because I'm telling you, there's no way to know right now. Because you get little like nuggets there where you're like, oh, they're definitely not continuing it. But then you get ones like Aquaman 2 is in it. The Flash is at least tangentially connected. And there's a lot of support for it, obviously. So depending on how things go, and if WB gets a huge win with like the Flash or something, or the Suicide Squad, be able to go, okay, we have this, we got this, baby. We can go from here, and also maybe we can try to do other stuff too. Maybe they just want to get a win under them that isn't in the Snyderverse.
I'm not sure if it's, and I'm not sure if it's EP in name only, but one of the executive producers on this movie is Zack Snyder on the Suicide Squad.
Well, so a lot of times with EP, it doesn't mean he's actually actively part of the movie, but he helped create a character or two.
Assuming it's not EP in name only, I said assuming it's not that. You know,
I don't know if we don't know how involved he is, but I suspect he's somewhat involved.
I think that's a good point, because a lot of times, if he was, which he's said in the past, he's not upset with WB, he's over it. But also, if he wasn't still connected with them and working with them in some way, I think there's a good chance he would just go, just take my name off of it. I don't want my name on it.
You hear the Chris Terrio story? No, go Saggy, go.
I was gonna say the only way I can see the Snyderverse being restored at all, in all honesty, and this is just my opinion, is if everything in the next few years that WB produces tanks.
Which I don't see happening. I don't see happening.
And that's the problem. So if we pay, now I was talking about this the other day. If we pay to go see the Suicide Squad, if we pay to go see the Flash, are we, and that's like that's the discourse between boycotting these movies, right? So if we pay and these two movies, the Suicide Squad and the Flash, do tremendous numbers, are we paying to kill the Snyderverse?
Well, I think that goes back to what Paul was saying, like, I guess, or even Enosh, like, if you're fit, if you're fans of the material, you're gonna go see it. Like we're gonna go see these movies regardless, even if the scores on Rotten Tomatoes aren't great. We're gonna go see them. But are we contributing to it? I mean, I don't know. I think as far as Warner Brothers is concerned at this moment, the Snyderverse is done. I mean, they've said that. Hamada said it. Now, we don't know what happens after the merger, but we don't know David Zaslav or whatever his name is, if any new blood comes into Warner Brothers over the next year or two, and they're like, hey, so the Flash is doing well, Suicide Squad's doing well, Aquaman 2 is doing well, the Batman is doing well. Why do we have to go back to something that ended a couple years ago? Because they're not fans. They're looking at the bottom line. If what we're doing right now is making money, and, this goes back to what Asagi was saying, if these movies make money, if they do well financially and critically and fans love them, it might be trickier to do that.
Yeah, I think, but us right here, the 7 of us and fans like us, we're not the people that are going to make or break movies. The layman, the average person is
the general audiences. Yeah.
Whether or not it has legs is going to make or break it. And if the Flash comes out and it gets its initial push, and then it's a fantastic movie, and the average audience comes to go see it, and we won't have this. Obviously, I don't mind as much, but you guys do. And I feel for that. I've seen movies where I'm like, oh, I wish this would continue. But if you do have a fantastic Flash movie and it's moving forward with the universe and then it has legs and it succeeds, are you not happy to just have a fantastic DC movie and have a good outlook going forward, even if it's not Snyder?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, and that's a hard pill for yes, but I would still rather have the Snyderverse. But I also am willing to accept the fact that might not happen.
Hey,
I mean, here's the thing. Snyder, how do I put this? Me, Ty, and all of us, I'm sure in our lives have been plugging the Snyder cut since last May when it was announced. Almost everyone I've talked to who is not necessarily a comic book fan enjoyed it, but they didn't react the way that we reacted. Maybe a handful of people, and I'm talking about normal people. I'm not talking about people who are in it. I'm saying they're like, oh yeah, that was pretty good. It was a lot better than that other version.
Yeah.
Well, no.
So what's the weather like? They just kind of move on with it.
Here's the thing. I was new to this because I was more Marvel than DC. Enosh, when I met Enosh, he was shocked. I didn't see. He even judged me when I said no. I didn't see BVS. I was.
That's one of your backhanded comments that you
were judging. You were so shocked and you looked disappointed in me. I felt like a father was scorned by that news.
I was only shocked that you were out here commenting on stuff that you didn't know about.
No. Well, I do that a lot apparently. But anyways, yeah, I know.
That's everyone on the internet.
That's true. But no, well, here's the thing. See, but that's why. Here's the thing. Just to say that little clapback. If I don't comment on things I don't know about, how am I to be corrected? And that's what Enosh did. When I talked about something I didn't know about, which was BVS, he corrected me and said, "You got to watch it so you understand." So I did. Now here's the thing. I got into this whole Snyderverse stuff late, right? That's where I met Enosh and where I met all of you. Now, when it finally did come out, I wasn't even there for the initial announcement, so I didn't even know the excitement or understood what was going on. When I saw that movie, all 4 hours of the movie, what I took from that, the first thing I said when those credits were dropped was, I understand now. I understand why this was so important to the fans. Now, like we said, I've always said, even when I first met Enosh and everything, I know saying a boycott, I don't say boycott this, boycott that. I don't want to boycott, but I will say, if you are passionate about something and you want something and you want change with these big corporations, you have to hit them where it hurts, their wallets. Now, if you want Zack to make these movies and you want to send that message to Warner Brothers that you're not going to get my money unless you allow this man to do what he wants to do, stop giving him money. And it sucks because that means, guess what? Now you have to sit there and not see these movies that you want to see because you're trying to make a stand. So you have to really think of yourself as fans. Who are you a fan of? Are you a fan of the director of the movie? Are you a fan of Zack? Or are you a fan of DC? And at this point in this game, that's where you need to figure out what you want to do. Figure out what you're more of a fan of. Are you a fan of the characters or are you a fan of the guy who's making the movies? Because anyone can write a story about these characters. We've seen it. We've seen it many times. That's why we had this whole issue with the Joss Whedon one and Zack's version, right? Make the decision. Are you a fan? Are you a fan of the characters or are you a fan of just Zack? And if you want to see the Snyderverse and you want Zack to do it and you feel like he's more qualified to tell these stories and you want to see him tell it and you want that to happen, you have to make a stand. You have to make a stand.
I think part of the issue is, and I think people might not like that I say this, that even if all the hardcore Snyder fans boycotted these movies, I don't think it would make as much of a dent as we think it would.
Well, it made enough noise to get them to let him do the cut. Y'all
I know,
not
but
not in the way that you think it's going to happen. If this movie does poorly, I don't think they'll blame it on the Snyder fans. I think they'll just kind of say it'll just get to the point where if enough of these in a row do poorly, unfortunately, I do hope they succeed in the sense of that everyone gets to keep working. But I honestly think what'll happen is, to be perfectly honest, is if you thought that Justice League and possibly even, depending on what the narrative is, the Flash are starting from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't seen anything if these movies don't do well. Like, I think it would be full on scorched earth, even of the DCEU
apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they denied the success of that cut too. That's the thing that bothered me is they were
they hid the numbers.
Yeah, they hid the numbers. They were like they didn't want to admit that they were wrong.
They don't, because HBO Max doesn't do that for like single films, as far as I know, right?
Yeah, they didn't even do it for the Friends reunion, which I'm sure was massive.
Yeah,
like, they didn't even talk. Oh
yeah,
about
I'm surprised. It's a very stupid decision.
I just don't get
it. Make no mistake, but like
that's what that was another thing that was confusing, and that's what I mean. Like, if they wanted the cut, they released the cut. Everyone was excited. I don't think I've seen many people that were like, everyone's excited when it was announced and everyone saw it and it did well. It even got new people who, like I said, like me, who weren't that hardcore into DC or even watched all of the movies. I went back to watch some of the movies just to set myself up for this thing. And I you know how rare it was? I think I showed Enosh too. A guy showed up at my job, right? And I work at it's a local store that I work at, right? A guy showed up from Brazil. The Brazilian guy showed up at my job, and guess what he was wearing?
The Zack Snyder Justice League shirt,
right? Mm-hmm. And then I talked to him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I want them to restore it." He was all about it. I was like, "Oh, you got to watch my friend Enosh. He's all about that and stuff." Mm-hmm. So I mean, randomly, I would see people randomly wearing shirts and stuff, and then that
how it is.
What? Well, I didn't know you at the time.
Enosh is the only one who talks about it.
Well, I didn't know you at the time.
I'm just kidding.
But that to me spoke volumes and told me why this whole thing was important and why people want it. So, when I hear people say, "Oh, it's done," it's like, it's only done if you allow it to be done.
Yeah. And I wanted to say, like, that's how I even got into all this. I loved BVS, the Ultimate Edition, and the Man of Steel, and then I started getting all these different recommendations for videos and all that stuff, and Enosh's stream was on there, and I liked it. I loved the content, I loved the discussions they would have, and I'm so happy to be a part of it all. But in regards to what you're saying before, WB is just funny with this, because even when they announced it, they wanted Zack to just post it as is, unedited, restored.
Yeah. They wanted to post money into it.
Yeah, they didn't want to put money into it, but he wouldn't do that, because honestly, that just shows the disrespect that they have. And I mean, and it goes again to what Paul was saying a long time ago, back with the hit, like the monetary and fans not seeing it or like supporting it, like going to see his movies. That's like how the fans feel. They feel like that's like the only way they actually get what they want or let their voices be heard, because clearly, as we're all talking about, like, we want the Snyderverse restored, we want to see more of these movies, but they just don't listen. So if we put judge and use our money to kind of speak volumes and hit them where we think it hurts, and that's their currency and their payments, that's just how we feel. And I mean,
I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying that Warner Brothers is looking, it's like they're looking at the Snyder fans.
Yeah.
And then they're looking at general audiences. They're trying to get that mark. Because I'll tell you, everyone who went to see Avengers Endgame is not a comic book fan or even read comics.
Yeah, they're all casual.
They know audience. That Flash could possibly, and look, I said this yesterday on my show. I'm probably, I'm not sure if I'm the oldest here, but I grew up with the Michael Keaton Batman. All right.
I was 13 when that movie came out.
Okay, so
I wasn't born.
I was 12. I was 2. But here, let me just say this. I make pop culture comic book posts all the time. None of my 1,000 friends on Facebook gives a crap. when I posted that Michael Keaton picture, people I don't even know who I'm friends with are like, "Oh my God, he's back!" Like they're gonna go see that Flash movie just because they know Michael Keaton's back. They don't watch comic book movies. They don't know which one The Dark Knight is from Batman vs Superman. But like, I think what Warner Brothers is trying to do is like, let's get the general audience. And if they could get rid of us, the Snyder fans are like, yeah, let's get rid of them. Let's get rid of the Snyder fans.
They can't get rid of us because
I know, but I'm just saying,
They're here to stay.
If they can make Flash a successful movie and little kids are dressing up as the Flash next Halloween,
yeah.
Well, here's the thing. They do depend on the fans.
Yeah.
As much because here's the thing. The fans aren't gonna go anywhere. You know,
they're loyal. They're here to stay.
Right. They're loyal. So they still need to somewhat cater to our needs. But yes, it is about also targeting the general audience because they want to bring more fans in. They want more loyal fans. That's because, like I said, our money is the source of their income. They need us. So that's why I said you have to really think about it really deep down in your heart. Are you a hardcore fan of these characters, or are you just fan of one guy?
Yeah,
you know.
So I gotta get going, but
can't we be both?
I'm just gonna answer. I'm gonna give my opinion on this, and I'll peace out. So here's the thing. I'm a DC fan, right? I'm going to attempt to support DC. I'm not going to boycott anything unless I see some gross negligence. I tell you, if I walk into the Flash and literally they're doing things on point to try to just piss people off,
kill off Ben Affleck.
What? No, you know what? Ben Affleck, that won't even piss me off because you know what? Ben Affleck's Batman is an older Batman, anyways. Yeah. Okay,
not just because Keaton though.
No, but listen to me though. His story arc in Zack Snyder's universe was to die.
Yes,
okay, we know that. So the thing is like even if they kill him off in that movie, it means absolutely nothing for the Snyderverse. Mm-hmm. This is what you all need to remember, and this is what everybody needs to remember, especially with the opening up of the multiverse. Anything is possible. These characters can be spun off in any way.
They can they
can come back at any time. Anything can happen. And here's just the thing. For me, it's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I understand that things come out and it makes it look like, hey, well, it doesn't look like they want to do this. Listen, that's no new surprise. Warner Brothers doesn't want anything to do with the Snyderverse. They haven't wanted anything to do with the Snyderverse. They got rid of Zack Snyder. They thought they got rid of Zack Snyder back, in 2017, and that they were able to move on and that it was just all going to go away quietly and end and they could go on and do whatever the heck they were going to do next. And Justice League, crashed. But here's the thing. It's a matter of when, and it's a matter of how. Okay. Well, if you expect that Warner Brothers is going to announce next week that they're going to do Justice League 2 and 3 in theaters, 2022, 2023, that's not going to happen.
It's not.
That's not where we're going to see this thing happen.
No.
Okay. If and when it happens, it will be HBO Max. It'll be something like that along those lines.
They need more content
where it's a smaller type of thing. And before everybody starts in with the whole thing, they're not going to throw that much money at it. First of all, if they film it in a certain way, you don't have to throw much of money at it. The technology is there to do it on a good budget. And the thing is, you got Amazon spending billions of dollars on a freaking
$400 million.
Yeah,
Lord of the Rings.
$400 million on Lord of the Rings, and you literally have Discovery announcing that they're going to spend, what was it?
It was up there over. Yeah.
How many billion was it that they're going to billions of dollars on content over the next couple of years? So I'm just telling you, and everybody was like, well, Zach doesn't even want to do it. Then Zach wouldn't be out here literally every week dropping little hints on everybody and literally telling people. He literally even said
photos.
He's dropping photos, but he literally even said, was it like a week and a half ago? Somebody asked him flat out about the Discovery thing, and he goes, "Look," he says, "They said, would you do it?" And he says, "Yeah, I'd do it." All these people who are saying out here saying that Zack Snyder wouldn't do it, that's not true. Zack Snyder absolutely would do it because you know what, Zack Snyder, to Zack Snyder, it's not about Warner Brothers. Yeah, Warner Brothers pisses him off and should piss him off because of the stuff that they've done. But the thing is he wants to see this vision through. He wants to see this for the fans. He wants to get that out there. And so he said, yeah, I'd do it. He says, now it's a matter of this discovery thing. And he mentioned the discovery thing, like what they want to do, how they want to approach it. And look, there's a lot of possibilities out there of how this could happen. But everybody who's involved wants to do it. It's just Warner Brothers at this point. Warner Brothers doesn't want to do it because
their dark side.
For them to do it, for them to announce it, or for them to go through with it, makes them have to acknowledge the fact that they were wrong. And nobody is going to do that. None of the executives that are currently there, or the people who are a part of that right now, are going to acknowledge that, or even seem to acknowledge it through their discussions. And here's the weird thing about that is them doing that does not even have to mean that they're wrong. All it means is that we have a multiverse. We have different facets of different stories that can be told across multiple platforms, across multiple universes, across multiple things.
They could spin it that way without even admitting they were wrong.
Absolutely.
They just say, hey,
absolutely.
we're going to take this.
Absolutely.
New,
Absolutely.
Would you guys
just the people that I talk to, I'll just tell you this, the people that I talk to, the conversations that I've had is not really about it's never we're never talking about if. It's always when and how.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just to end it there, because we're gonna end up wrapping it up as well. If Warner Brothers came out and said, "Listen, guys, we're sorry," and I know this is far fetched, but if they said, "Hey guys, we think that we made a mistake. We're gonna try to write it. We're gonna try to do the right thing. We're gonna do the Snyderverse on HBO Max. We're gonna continue our theatrical on platforms in theaters. We made a mistake. We're sorry. Would you forgive them? Like if they basically flat out said,
I'll forgive them.
Yeah, if they flat out said, "Listen, we made the mistake. We didn't think. Maybe even.
Yeah.
I think Jack and I said it. Maybe use Whedon or Jeff Johns as a
scapegoat,
patsy, and say, we didn't expect it to turn out like that either. We thought we were getting, this great director, and it didn't turn out that way. We're sorry.
Yeah.
I'm okay if Warner Brothers even blames the fans. This is what I said earlier, was the fans who reacted so hyperbolically crazy in 2016 that if I was Warner Brothers, I'd have been like, oh crap, what did we just do?
Yeah.
The way fans reacted on social media, and Paul, this is going back to your point. We were talking last week. Like, do you blame Warner Brothers for what they did? Given I remember 2016 really well, the way people went nuts. If I was Warner Brothers, I'd be like, dude, let's get Joss Whedon. This guy's made 2 movies that have grossed $1 billion. That makes sense.
Avengers.
So like, I don't even fully blame them, even though I blame them. I get why they did it, because fans reacted so.
Hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah.
You can look back and go, oh well, obviously they should have done this. Obviously, it was obvious.
I forgave Warner Brothers when they announced they were gonna do Blue Beetle, so they already won me over.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Okay.
All right.
This is where Enoch dips.
Gotta go, guys.
Right,
Gotta go, guys. I in the chat. My wife.
Stay in touch with Ty. We want to get you on Jiving with Jack. Talk to Ty on the phone.
Yeah, my wife is texting me because we were doing something, and I said, "Hey, can I go hang out with my friends here for a few minutes?"
Yeah,
we don't have that type of relationship, but she's cool about that. She was doing some other stuff, and she's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And she just texted me, she's like, "You said 20 minutes," and I'm like,
Enoch, I consider you a friend. I really
do too, man. I told you I claim you as I don't know if you saw my comment in the chat before I came in. Yeah, I claim you, buddy.
We're friends. I know that most of us here or viewers know where to find you, but why don't you do a quick plug and talk about maybe some stuff that you have coming up.
Sure. You can find me at Saggy Melons. No, I'm just kidding. Be careful how you look that up. My wife looked it up the other day, and
make sure you put the Z.
There's some porn that
Z
comes
is
up.
very important.
Yeah.
But no, you can find us at Poindexter Lounge across all platforms. Obviously here on YouTube, we have the YouTube channel that we all get together and we have fun and talk about the stuff that we love. And I think that's the biggest thing. And that's why I do what I do. And I know that people like you guys, that's why you guys do what you do. And And I love this new era, it seems, of YouTube broadcasting, because when I first started watching YouTube, it was like all these pundits out in LA and all these people who were really super connected and everything, and like that's who everybody watched, right? And there's still there's still a couple of those guys who are still there. Yeah, your John Campea and stuff. There's still a couple of those that are out there that, look, people can disagree with John Campea all day, but he does have a lot of good takes on stuff, and he does have a lot of knowledge, right? But the thing is, there is a shift. And what I love about the shift is it shifted to the fans who kind of picked up on that and said, hey, we want to establish places where we can talk about this stuff too and have a good time. And you notice how the industry has kind of responded. And now a lot of these channels and stuff, like small channels, are getting great interviews with people and people coming aboard. And it's a great time.
We have a whole month next.
We had
a month coming up where we have a lot of good guests, and
that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Enosh, I would love for you to join. We have a couple slots left, and we want to include some people that aren't just actors. So
man,
maybe you could pull some strings. I don't know.
Bro.
Bring someone in. But more or less, I just want you. And listen. We will talk soon. We'll all come over to the lounge, and we'll all have a great conversation.
Yeah, we're all over the place though. We're all the social medias. The only one that's weird is our Twitter, because it's not. They don't give you enough letters to put Poindexter Lounge. So we had to when I did it, it's Poindexter with just the X in the middle, no E. So I don't know if I could change that now or something. I don't know. Do something. I don't know.
Find that out.
Do maybe P Dexter Lounge or I don't know. I don't know.
I usually just type your name and it comes out.
Dude, I seriously, like, there ain't too many of me around the world. There are a few Enoshes. There are a few Enoshes, but you know what? Like, love me or hate me. Love me or hate me. You pretty much look at my name and there it is. Exactly. So hey, love you guys. Always fun talking to you. Paul, nice talking to you, man. And we'll have absolutely, Jack. We'll have to
talk to Ty or Austin. We'll get you on.
We'll have to plan this Vegas thing, man. That's awesome. This Vegas connection, man. I was just out there this last summer. I took my family out there for the first time because I used to come back every year, and my family had never been to the Southwest. My wife had never been to Vegas, and my boys had never been to Vegas. So I got to take them out there, show them the homes that I grew up in and stuff like that out there, taking different places,
we would absolutely love to hang out with you and go and do that with you, and maybe even have you on. We're having Austin on tomorrow for our show.
Man, reach out to me, dude. Reach out to me. Like I've been really busy lately. My wife had surgery a couple of weeks ago, so I've been trying to take care of her. So that's been kind of different lately. But yeah, man, I know we're gonna do this horror movie thing and stuff. And
horror movies.
Yeah. Who's the other guy that you have on with you, Ty? I'm trying to think. Austin. Austin and I have been talking about doing that. I was supposed to do that, but because of my wife's situation, right? But everything's cool, and so yeah. I love doing this stuff. I love talking this stuff, whether it's on my channel or other people's channel, man. It's all good, man. So much love to everybody
here at the Pop Culture Corner.
Saggy, just buy Ty that bubble tea and send it over.
I might have to Uber it to him because he ain't showing up. Okay,
have Matt Jarbo deliver it.
That's stealing my lines. You're stealing my lines.
We'll see you guys next time. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Bye. Love you.
All right, so guys, let's start doing the rounds. All right, we'll start down. We'll start down towards Paul. Paul, where can we find you?
First of all, I just want to thank you for continuing to have me on. I have a lot of fun talking with you guys, and it's a lot of fun to spend my Wednesdays doing this because I have this day off. Like, I go to practice in the morning and whatnot, but then I'm able to come
every
and do this with you guys.
Baby. Every Wednesday.
And but you can find us at Into the West Comics on Instagram, Into the West Comics on YouTube, and I forget what our Twitter is sometimes because it's a little different. Because like Enosh was saying, you can't get the whole thing. It's _comics on Twitter. Please go like, follow, subscribe. We just got to 1,000 followers on Instagram. That's pretty cool. Nice. We're around closing in on 250 subscribers on YouTube. We're having the Pop Culture Corner's very own Austin Lean on the next 2 episodes for the next 2 weeks of our show. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then keep your eye out. We may have a collab going on with a writer on a pretty massive DC book. I've been in contact with the writer of Superman, and that is super duper cool. We're waiting to hear back from him. We've already sent him a T-shirt of ours after he followed us on Twitter. So that's
oh my goodness! Are you ready? Are you ready? And for Into the West Comics, I am number 1,000 on Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that, because we've been going up and down between $9.99 and like 1,002. But
guys,
thank you.
I'm gonna give you 101.
All jokes aside, subscribe to Into the West Comics. They have a great show. I've been telling them that they need to network more, and things like this are gonna get you more. Like now you met Enosh. Now you met, like, these are the things that are gonna bring your show to the next level, man. Because your show is already great. You have a foundation. It's time to build on that foundation, and I am very happy to be a part of partnering with you guys. Pop Culture Corner and Into the West. We like to help each other, and we'll grow together, and we'll succeed. Okay.
And I also wanted to say that Sonny was very thankful and had a lot of fun today. He'd like to be back on again. His internet was just being weird.
That's okay. No stranger to that. All right. So Saggy Melons.
What happened?
She couldn't follow.
Answer the question. No.
She couldn't.
Wait,
Get with the program.
She could. We were on some stream the other night where she couldn't even follow my plugs because I did it so well, and I'm about to lay it down again today. So just plug yourself, Saggy.
Okay, you gotta be careful how you say that, because that just came off pretty. I saw him up there too. I was like, that was not good how you said that. But anyway, yeah.
It was great. It was perfect.
Yeah, nothing. It was beautiful, Tyler. You're awesome. First of all, thank you for inviting me. This was fun. I know I was a little late, but bubble tea was on its way. But Saggy Melons, please, for the love of God, they're not joking when they say put the Z. This was not intentional, I swear. But yeah, you have to put the Z, because you do find a corner of YouTube that I did not know existed, and I apologize in advance. But maybe, who knows? Maybe you'll find out something new you like. I don't know. I'm not judging.
You'll find new things.
But yes, some Saggy Melons pretty much with the Z everywhere. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I'm everywhere. Saggy Melons.
Did you ever do that watermelon challenge?
I did. Did you miss it?
I did miss it.
It was very weird.
It was weird, but no, the weirdest part was it was actually good, Tyler. I'm not kidding. It was the weirdest thing in my. Listen. I do it for you guys. You guys watch.
I loved it too.
Wait. What?
I did it for everybody.
We do it for you, and we do it for the culture.
Exactly.
Watermelon. Actually, yeah. Before you all leave, I would like to have you all say it. Okay, all at once at the end. All right. So Saggy. So you can find Saggy on YouTube, and then what's your Twitter?
Same. Saggy Melons with the Z everywhere.
All right.
I own it.
All right. And then TW McKay.
If you guys want to have a conversation somewhere, I really don't have a YouTube thing set up, but you guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and find me on Reddit at TWMcKay34. I have posted in the chat if you guys want to come by and say hello.
All right.
Awesome.
Black Ops.
Well, I just started up a YouTube channel. I'll be posting a little bit there, but you can find me at Black Ops JMB01, or you can find me on Twitch, which I'm about to do one right after this, at Black Ops JB.
All right.
Nice.
Get jacked. You want to do?
I just gotta admit, I just had a blonde moment. I've been looking at the name Theo all night. I didn't realize that's TW McKay, who's in the chats all the time. Like when you just said that, I'm like, oh, that's that dude.
All the time. All the time.
Well, you guys can all find me right here on Pop Culture Corner on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4:30. We do Jiving with Jack. Tomorrow we're doing a bit of a Loki talk, and then we're going to get into cancel culture and some of the hotter topics in pop culture. Ty will be there. Austin will be there, I think, unless he's doing something with you guys. Paul.
Oh no, Ty.
He told me he was sick. No, I'm just joking.
What?
No, I'm not sure. Their show's later.
Yeah, I know. They're in Vegas. I was joking. But we can follow us on Pop Culture Corner right here on YouTube. We're on Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, AOL, Yahoo. We're everywhere.
All right, guys. it has been truly a pleasure to do panel discussions with all of our friends from around the YouTube industry. Okay. We, as Jack said, we can be found on Twitter at pop_culture 2020. And that goes for most platforms except for Instagram and Facebook, where it's pop_culture corner 2020. We just got on TikTok or TikTok. So follow us there. All the links are in the description below. Become a member of the channel. You get exclusives. You get a yearly gift, discounted merch, behind the scenes content, early access to pre-recorded content, and so much more. You like pictures of my dog? I'll send those to you too. You like pictures of my feet? I'll send those to you too. Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
That's just a bonus.
That's just a bonus.
Bonus.
And guys, at the count of 3, I would like you all to say, we do it for you. We do it for the culture. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. We do it for you.
We do it for the
culture.
That sounded so bad.
All right.
That's okay.
No, because I'm gonna edit this. I'm gonna edit it and do it again.
Okay.
So let's do it one more time. Let's try to do it in unison. So, 3, 2, 1. We do it for you. We do it for the culture. All right, that was still.
I think that was even worse.
I think it's just
All right.
StreamYard.
All right.
Yeah,
You know what?
I'm lagging a little.
All right, you know what? One more time. Ready? I'll lead it. 3, 2, 1. We do it for you. We do it for the culture. All right, that was much better, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was pretty tough.
Oh man.
But you guys are all welcome back every Wednesday for a panel discussion. I'm gonna start putting out polls on Twitter a couple days before. So vote on your topic. If something breaking comes up, maybe we can push it and talk about the breaking news aspect. But for the most part, there'll be a poll on Twitter, vote, and then that will be our topic of the day. We're going to keep it to one topic for the general, like this one, we did the Suicide Squad, but we kind of veered off. But the main topic, the thumbnail image, stuff like that. So vote, make sure you vote, and then make sure you show up every Wednesday. Guys, truly, you guys make this worth doing. Each and every one of you, from viewers, subscribers, members, you guys help me get up in the morning. You guys help me get through the toughest times in my life. I've had several things that have happened to me throughout, starting this channel. And without you guys, I'd be in a very, maybe a dark place. So just know that I don't do this just for you. But you do it. You do it for me. You complete me. So I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. With that being said, we'll see you next time.